What is up, y'all? It's your boy Aniki. We are here today. We got Bishop Ponzu on deck
Let's go! You know what it is, guys? What
and,
time it is?
and Archbishop East is AFK.
No, we not because we undefeated of the East, baby. What it do?
All right, we got Archbishop East on deck. Happy Easter, everybody. I hadn't even been keeping up with holidays. Shout out to everybody that's here who makes it. Shout out to y'all for being here. I see you pulling in. Yes, yes. Ooh, yes. Already pulling up. I like to see it. Already read Jujutsu Kaisen today. Already read Black Clover today. Already read One Piece today.
I just read Jujutsu Kaisen and I was reading MHA. So, yeah, let's go for the favorite of our week every day, every
Right.
week. Okay, wait, guys, you know what to do? You come on the stream, like the video.
Hello.
Oh, snap. Jeez, we on this fine Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here too long because I got a lot of shit I had to do, but
I assume.
love that fucking chapter. Oh, like GOAT back to back. Oh,
Back to back goat. Back to back goat.
That's what I wanted to see,
What
man.
did I say when I told you, when I called you? Yeah, like I always say.
Hold up, we almost
Yeah,
there.
okay, that's not fair because you know the chapters I like. So,
Hey, don't worry, this is gonna get real interesting for a certain someone, but I'm not gonna say any more than that.
Hey, we just hit 30, so we going in.
Yep.
Somebody gonna be talking shit to stream. I'm not gonna say who, but
let's pop this open.
Let's go then.
So yeah,
My Hero Academia, chapter 307 by Kohei Horikoshi. Let's see. All right, level streets. Jailbreakers showed up in the South York yesterday. Vehicle detecting traffic signal, but everyone else got assigned to emergency zones elsewhere. Oh, Shindo pulled up.
Okay.
Ketsubutsu finally pulling up. Shindo, let's see, third year. Yep, turtleneck.
yes, this fully confirms for anybody that was somewhat. I don't know how y'all went and get it, but yes, our first years are now second years. It's official because Shindo started off as a second year.
Yeah.
Although that should have been obvious. You know how people are when it comes to
It's okay. Sometimes it's hard to read.
Yes.
We've got a guy at the stragglers out of here. Let's resolve the situation quickly. The only ones left are bound to be a bunch of stubborn hardliners. I'll tackle this negotiation with a charming smile, just like Joke Sensei would. This is gonna suck. These two debuted in Volume 12. Bakugo refused to shake Yo's hand. It's true, he did. Anyway, let's get this over with. They're holed up in the Taguchi building, so let's get going. Oh, hang on a sec, Yo. Let's see. All right, you see they got chairs stockpiled up all over the place, people building forts inside. They're sending us kids now. Well, you wasted a trip, buzz off. But it's quite dangerous here, and your provisions won't last forever. Please come with us and take shelter at Ketsubutsu Academy. All right, so you guys remember I was talking about this, right? Last week, I straight up said, these shelters are double-edged swords because as they condense and get all these people into these safe spots, all these areas where there's low population density is going to turn into wild zones. So these people can't stay here. They're just setting themselves up. I wouldn't be surprised if within 2 or 3 page turns, there was villains attacking. This is just what it is. But whatever, we'll see. Let's see. Please come with us and take shelter at Ketsubutsu Academy. And once everyone's crammed into school, what happens when those devils decide to attack there? You kids think you can do a damn thing about that? When they came from my shop, I gave those suckers a taste of their own medicine. Our eyes are wide open now. A man's got to protect his hometown. We ain't putting our lives in anyone else's hands. If they were only coming for money and valuables, that would be one thing. But Jailbreaker and those know me are a different story. Someone witnessed the carnage yesterday, not far from here. When you're up against someone driven solely by violence, well, even the pros would get slaughtered by things that are far removed from humanity. Like I said, we don't got faith in heroes, only ourselves. All you heroes act so high and mighty, thinking you can force people to live their lives one way or another. We're simply more proficient at combat than you fine people. Please allow us to protect you. Oh yeah? Look what's come of trusting smooth lines like that. Look, we ain't seeing eye to eye, so go home, kid. Our days of relying on heroes are over.
I'm sorry, y'all said something about consequences, because
Oh man, shit, that's crazy. Hold on, that sucked. Serious suckage, yo. Sucks City. One little hit from my vibrate perk, and that whole tower would be rebel. God, I would have dragged him out by force. Jeez, if we were allowed. That sucked. Bloop. Call from Maccabee. How long are the cell towers even gonna last? You two gotta run. He's nearby, huh? Itejiro spotted him with his own eyes. He's headed your way. We won't make it in time, so get out of there now. And what did I say? Within 3 or 4 pages? He's coming. This man leaping into action like the Hulk, tearing buildings apart. Jailbreaker.
Oh, damn.
Muscular. Let's go.
Oh. Ooh, la 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 la. Oh, man, he's back.
keep going, because there was something I wanted to say, but I can't say it. So keep going.
Hey, let's play. Oh, the spread. This spread is ill but nasty. I love to see it.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Just 2 of you. That's not enough. Got any pals around? Tatami, get word to Sensei that we need backup and evacuate the civilians. What about you? I'll demolish him.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Let's go!
I love it out here in the free world.
Or Earthbender. Lol. Let's go.
Our town's already torn apart. No more. Wait, you can't stand up to that blood-crazed villain. You have to run. Too bad you ain't our boss. We don't want you to die. Yo. Ooh. Damn. Got that boy against the building.
I love how you said yo, but it actually says yo too. Like, or he knows.
Come on, is that it? See, let's see. He's got tears in his eyes, blood on his. Ooh. Spot a hero and you're bound to find 9 more. Sweet guess the truth. The saying's true. Oh shit. Smashed them. Ooh. No use, little guy. I got 12,000 layers of muscle fiber as armor. No piddly power is gonna reach through to my actual body. That so? Max Force leaves me immobilized for a while, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. If there's anything your heroes ought to have at this point, it's a rock hard spirit that refuses to bend or break.
I like that boy. Really.
Your brain will be a milkshake when I'm done, tremoring earth. In that case, I gotta bulk up my armor. Oh man, the way Muscular is just looking more like a fucking hellhound in this.
Yeah, he looks like like a monster.
No,
and I love that Yoshindo's actually like fighting back too. Like he's actually.
Yeah. Anybody on the street now is a real certified hero.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about no license, none of that shit. They got the heart of a hero. If they on the street at this point, you a real hero.
Yes.
Yo, let's save that kid. Time for a blood frenzy. Smash!
Let's go!
Yeah.
Drop kick the nigga.
Look how raw.
No!
Muscular.
Turn the page.
Oh no!
Look at him.
Look
no
at the
wonder my
boy.
gift from the 4th wouldn't shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Look how raw.
Now, everybody in the church, if you've been here for more than at least 5 videos, 6 videos, 7 videos, there was one person in this church who leaves us every Sunday on his channel. And I do recall this specific man saying, Deku will have a rogues gallery, a set of villains that come repeatedly amongst the story again and again, just how Batman has. Am I correct or am I wrong?
I said it like, what was that? Like, oh my God, was that last week?
Yeah, you've been saying it, but it was so funny because remember I called you, right?
Yeah.
It was so funny because I had just watched you in Silver Stream and you were literally calling all of this shit like Shindo, like let's say Shindo pops up and Shindo's doing this and he gets murked by a villain and then that happens. And I was like, this nigga really calling what just happened at the chapter Friday. He's like, now I believe Deku will have a rogues gallery as villains he's already met that come back into the story once again. And I'm like, yeah, this nigga just talking about everything that's happened in Friday's chapter on a stream prior to Friday's chapter with Silvers.
Goated. Aniki, he a cardinal for a reason.
Man,
the Lord speaks to him.
No, man, bro. He's a pope. Literally, he's a pope.
Through the scripture,
saying,
man.
Look, bro. And what's crazy is I got another video for y'all that's coming out. I'm gonna explain how the Corker racing bullets are actually based off real life science.
This man in his bag. This man in his bag, son.
I'm
What
not
up?
even ready for it, bro.
Every
When
day.
when I explain to you how this shit could work if it was done in real life, and the fact that we have the technology to make something similar to that already, you're gonna lose your shit, bro.
You love to see it.
Yeah, man. But you see the little details, right? How Horikoshi made sure he drew the guy's back to everyone else instead of like having it up at front. So he made sure to draw like the back so you can see the damage and wear and tear on the fucking meta liberation gear that the people have.
Like everybody's been out here fucking.
He's like, I know that voice.
That's
know
the
it
part
too.
that kills me. He's like,
We
I
know it
know
too.
that voice.
Hey,
Yo.
but let's get something down. Let's get something down here right now.
Mhm.
Deku is not watching Muscular. I'm gonna need y'all to relax because niggas had ever since Friday, niggas like, oh, Deku finna watch Muscular, this, that, and other.
I don't
No.
think so.
That's not how it's gonna go.
no.
I literally I really made sure before this, I was just rereading their damn fight. I was just rereading their fight. Muscular was actually with enough muscle fiber, he was definitely enduring and keeping going strong with some 100% smashes.
Yes.
So Deku is definitely damaged from like you don't even need comments. Deku is definitely damaged from the shit still in the war. It's only basically been a fucking week.
Right,
2 weeks at best. 2
But
weeks
here's
at
the thing. Hold up. I need to talk about my boy and his plume fruit.
best.
Because if you look, you can see like there's like the impact frames, and you zoom in, you can see like there's like this boom, like kind of explodey cloud right above Shindo that's like smacking into Muscular that sends him flying. But it looks reminiscent of a Geppo combined with the smoke fruit by Smoker. And then you see like there's like that spiral of smoke around Shindo before he's picked up, and then you got the smoke under Deku cloth, bro. This man gave him the smoke fruit.
Oh, because he pulled up on the video. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, you need that smoker sound. That's.
I mean, ends that was it
right? The sixth user's name was N, which means smoke.
Yeah, so that was the
Fire
thing.
2.
Yeah, he doing a little. Yeah, he is.
But it would most definitely
swirl.
smoke. I'm pretty sure Horikoshi wouldn't get this nigga Deku fire court when
Yeah, the smoke.
we have enough of those.
Especially because we talked about this last week, I believe. If you look back into the ancient Horikoshi lore, one of his first drawings to ever get published was of Smoker in a One Piece volume.
Yes.
Sure.
So
although the quality on it is like, because you know,
it is, but it is low quality.
You can still see like the.
I would like to add something. Right now, his style, the fact that he has his mask and everything, it looks like the original. The original work of My Hero Academia that Horikoshi made. You know, that's the way that he drew Deku as somebody who was making tech for heroes. When he put the costume on, he had the same kind of the ears, but more broken. The eyes even more devilish with the mask too. If you check back that that one shot of My Hero Academia, the one shot, you will see the resemblance. Really, Horikoshi just keep swinging, man. We are here. We need the song of what is the song of I forgot his name. The name of the song with winning. Oh damn, man.
Hey, look, hold up, y'all. Don't be mean to Shindo, because like,
whoa.
Mean to Shindo. He was putting in work. What are you talking about?
Like,
Yeah.
bro.
What?
Let's not pretend like
this is I'm
Nigga
glad
said he'll bring the whole building down. He's talking about.
I'm so glad that like fucking these niggas are back, like Muscular and Moonfish and some other Stain and other people, because honestly, y'all kind of misunderstood. Like Horikoshi really wrote those fights so technical, so that kind of don't have to undermine their strength, but people kind of undermine their strength because of how early they got taken out the paint. Like Muscular got caught. Like remember, Deku flicked his muscle fibers back and then hit him with 100% smash to his chest. That's how Muscular got taken out. Before that, he was taking 100%. He was enduring and moving even faster, 100% smashes with, and then kept on fucking getting them shits like, oh, that was good. That's good. Let's go. Like Muscular's definitely like top 15 in the verse easily.
Yep.
It's just like people kind of like, and Moonfish is up there too. Like people kind of got this misconception and based off quirk matchups and like how things happen.
Moonfish is like a weird one to scale because people will try to make Moonfish like the heaviest of hitters, or they'll try to make him a bum.
Yes.
And it's like, no. Like they couldn't actually like use their fire-based quirks against him, so they was at a disadvantage. But to that same degree, though, it did take like it's not like Shoto just took him out with that ice either.
Yes.
It did take like Rampage and Tokoyami to like put him in the paint. But he did get like low diff too, so it's like he's more like a mid-tier threat, but he's still a legit one. It's just the circumstances made it a little messy. Muscular is straight up like if you was looking at the bingo book in Naruto, it's like he's right there with Zabuza. Like
yes, that's the thing about the when
was it like chapter 75 they first got or something?
Yeah.
Even for Moonfish is more like somebody who has a quirk who is chirurgical, really dangerous. If you don't have something to protect you, like that is hard. If he cuts through you, you lose limbs. That's the thing about it. He's not a powerful guy. He's a dangerous guy. Somebody like like muscular is somebody powerful. He's the fact that he can become faster, stronger because he can make like an armor of muscle fibers that are strength. They are based. So he has every stage that he has, like speed, endurance, power, power attacks. So and even like just protection, defense. That man get every time boost in every state because he has like the musculation aspect of that quirk.
I like the fact that he came like back in the forest camp, like he came looking for Bakugo, and then this is like almost like roles reverse where Midoriya finds him. Like I just think that's so awesome.
Yeah, I was literally rereading that fight, and it's like Deku pulls up to save Koda real quick.
Yeah,
and then he's like ducking and dodging. This time, like he gets him in the last second. He started getting smacked around and using everything he got. And Muscular's taunting him and shit. Like, you talking all that shit, but you were kind of running, huh? And just that. Other. Now Deku pulled. I was like, man, what's up, nigga? We're running that smoke, nigga.
I'm interested to see his expressions though, because like in that chapter, he was like, now I got to fight to win. Like, there's no other option. Like, he was stressing himself and stuff. So I want to see like.
But real quick, I want to address a couple things in chat real quick.
Wait. Because we got to touch on something important. Because remember we mentioned that rogues gallery point. Yeah. This is what's about to set them apart as Deku's rogues versus just some villains to these other niggas. They talking about jailbreaker. Oh no, jailbreaker. Muscular. You don't get a new name, nigga. You that same bum from back then.
Yeah. Oh shit. Damn, I said 10 minutes. I'm already in 28 minutes. Y'all got me deep in here, bro. Damn.
Hold on, Tyler. I'm gonna get to you. Let me just address some stuff. First of all, Shindo is actually quite strong. He's like actually really is low-key is a top tier character. I don't know why they're trying to like he's not weak. Like, bro, that nigga is like his quirk is OD and like he's quite strong. Muscular, little like, bro, y'all keep forgetting this nigga was enduring and keep on going strong after 100% smashes. He just boosted up his muscle fibers, and that's it. So it's not actually hitting his main body. It's literally just a fucking big meat shield, and I think it just keep on going and getting more serious. Because when Deku was dodging him at first, he wasn't playing, but then he saw how strong Deku was. Then Deku was in some big ass trouble. Y'all forget this nigga. You just seen what he was doing. It's not just his punches. This nigga can enhance his fucking speed to dodge and move. Deku literally just caught that nigga off guard with a big old strong attack. That's all it was. Like, see this the thing with my hero community. They quick to judge, and they get this perception. Now the fight, now niggas gonna be one. They everybody think Deku gonna watch this nigga. Then if he don't, niggas gonna be kind of upset. Y'all setting yourselves up again again because you jumping the gun. Relax, please.
Hey, hold up.
You just have to read niggas.
Something else. Like another thing, y'all, because y'all not giving Shindo props. Y'all realized he was gonna cut this nigga up, right? Like if you look back over, he was pulling the blade out. Like Shindo was ready to actually scrap. Like you gotta give him his respect. Give him his respect.
Exactly. And Tyler, I'm gonna address this for everybody.
We saw him in the hero work.
They met in the fucking licensing exam when they were second year. That Shindo was the second year. That's when Yue was the first year. And now UA is confirmed second
Oh,
year,
since he was a second year.
and then now Shindo's a third year. It's
Yes.
quite
Well,
simple.
since we last saw him as a second year, wouldn't that be Endeavor Agency?
No,
His
no,
son?
no, no. Like that was a panel. That was like a
Yeah,
tiny
yeah, true,
panel
true,
of them
true.
doing
Yeah,
their thing.
yeah.
But last time he was like
True,
an
true, true.
actual character doing actual things.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah.
that.
Then yeah, okay,
It was then.
Yeah.
Because I see people are kind of confused for some reason, but that's
Yeah, it
understandable.
was licensed to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah, NDOT
Oh,
finally NDOT noticed you out here rocking the Troy and Abed in the morning.
It was gang orca shit.
Sure, not but in the morning. Hey man, we going back to horror culture. Don't waste a motherfucking panel. Cause Shindo and his girlfriend was in that bitch too. So I can't wait to
Yes.
see Inasa and everybody else pull up.
True,
Yes.
true, true, true. All the
See,
goats.
okay, so do you know what this really means? Is that this is still technically, if you think about it, the war arc. It's just that the arc that we just had
Mhm.
was the first day of the war.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's crazy. That's what's
Oh,
crazy, bro.
damn.
The
It was
setup.
day one of the war. It's like,
Exactly.
Hey, Aniki, what did I say on stream? War. I
That
don't
was
know
a
what
battle.
war ends in a day. What war ends in a day?
Exactly.
An
that's
actual
what-
war that goes in the history book ends in a day.
That was a battle.
and if you
That
remember,
was-
I was like, hold up, like wars aren't supposed to end that cleanly anyway.
Yes.
And that's something that I was talking about on Silverstream, where I was like, I like the fact that the subversion was that it was like a messy. Hey,
Clean super chat.
happy belated birthday! Thank you, Aniki. Hope your week has been good. I haven't had a great past couple days. Took him off from work, relaxed. He came up with more ideas for content for you guys. He's doing excellent.
He looks good. He looks recharged, fresh. Y'all see that chat? Look at him.
Yeah,
That boy putting out double content for y'all.
I got ideas. This should be a fun next couple of weeks. For real. Appreciate it so much. Thanks for the birthday gifts. I got a shogi board too.
Yeah,
And-
guys.
as you were saying
I,
before,
I would like to add something to people that don't really understand what was happening in the with Shindo. Shindo has a top tier quirk. Why? His quirk is based on vibrations. You have to understand that everything vibrates around us. The guy, if he can admit this, he can destroy buildings. That's what he was talking about. Literally, what I can do here is just destroy that building, it crumbles. But the thing, when you think about it, the vibrations, how farther they go, or less powerful to become. That's the thing about it. That's why when he was fighting Muscular, that the fact that he has a meat shield, that he couldn't go that deep with the same power. Every time that his vibration went through a layer, it became less powerful. That's how he protect himself. If he touch literally Muscular on his head, Muscular is dead. You have to understand that. If he touch him on his head, on his face, that man is dead. It is just because that he just lost because he couldn't attack him directly. That's why also, like you said, East, about they could touch him directly, Muscular, that he won the fight. He would never won the fight if he didn't had touched him directly, because he couldn't. He tanked, like we said, tanked the 100% punch. But I have a question for you guys. Do you think that Deku, his 100% right now, is stronger than that in the beginning of the story? Yes or no?
y'all can answer that.
Real quick before that, thank you, son, for the 333 jackpot.
Whoa!
Happy belated times two. Okay, there's another super chat.
Mhm.
From Moon Dude 345. Thank you. Happy birthday, Aniki. I think this fight should go to show how far Deku has come since the first encounter in the forest. I would like a wash. This would be cool, but it probably won't happen that way. Okay, so thank you both for those birthday wishes. I expect this to be like a technical display of some of the quirks he got. So I'm expecting like combos of like smoke dodging with like the danger sense. So like as like Muscular is getting all these big windups, he's just getting like, he's not necessarily like one shot in Muscular, but Muscular is not being able to touch him leads to him being like taking like relatively no damage because he can danger sense dodge with smoke the crap out of Muscular.
It's
Like
gonna be
more bulky and
interesting.
straightforward.
It's gonna be interesting for sure. All right, boys, I'm out of here. Appreciate this chapter. Appreciate y'all. Like the stream, everybody. Have
Appreciate
fun.
you, Fusu.
Enjoy the day.
Y'all gonna I just say I'm not gonna do no more talking about Shindo because obviously y'all just gonna start capping on this nigga. So
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
don't y'all just trolling on this nigga like bro. Like somebody said earlier, hey bro, muscular with a body, Bakugo and Shoto in that forest camp. Like
Yep.
his strength is powerful enough to send air bursts and air blast if he wanted to, or like clap, and it actually like move the fire out the way from Shoto because Shoto's ice definitely getting broken by fucking everybody, bro. Like like it be getting taken the fuck out by a lot of people. Like his bread and butter is a lot of his fucking fire, because not many niggas can combat that. But as them niggas took on him in the forest camp, he bodied them. And I need y'all to stop overhyping Deku. You need to go from Aniki's analytical thing. He's not gonna just be like, haha, I'm gonna get stronger, bop, and I'm gonna run your ass through the fucking floor. No, it's gonna be a more of a technical fight, because even what rereading that fight today, Muscular was talking about, yeah, your shit a little bit too telegraphed. You may use 100%, but I seen that shit coming, so I just bulked up. You punched me into a wall, but now it's time to get serious. I was playing before. Then he started really knocking Deku shit, and it took him like less than a chapter to put Deku on his back before the nigga damn near died. And the only reason Deku got through because he finger flicked and kept snapping that nigga's muscle fibers back until he got through his actual skin and then 100% punched him. But since he can't do that now, he gonna have to way more technical.
Yes, literally.
But that is also one of the things that comes down to matchups. If instead of muscular like making external fibers, he just got bigger. He would have taken way more damage from Shindo here.
Yes, he would have been literally dead, because the thing that he did right now, that was dangerous for somebody if somebody was not just next to him. So it is just because he has that meat shield around him. Literally, when you see the size that he has right now, man. If you just if you know something about vibrations, I have studied this for my story. I really know what we are talking about, man. Literally, if he had just touched the face of Muscular, it was done. It was really done for him. But yeah, Muscular is a beast. Like he was shown literally like a beast, even in the way that he was portrayed, like a dog who's searching for blood. Literally.
Right, like he's got like that hellhound crazy muscle face where in a lot of movies where the face opens up and it's just like those crazy black lips and like
Do you think it was in reference to Venom, the way that the tentacles that his muscles go around him, and the way that he showed his face? Because Venom,
it 100% is, because the volume cover for the Forest Camp Training is literally a direct parallel to the Spider-Man and Venom cover on another comic book. It's a literal, like, and even if you look at that nigga and like go reread that fight, there are some panels when that nigga just like is entirely blacked out and just has like a white fucking eye, like when he's raging at Deku. So it's like, yeah, it's clear that nigga is just based after Venom. It's almost because it's almost like a symbiote to a certain extent.
I think a mix between Venom and Carnage, because Carnage is all about blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, he's really based about this. Damn, Horikoshi.
Yeah, Philip, you're right about that too. That the meathead shit and go the art and the meathead shit and go crazy next chapter. Bro.
Oh, this next chapter, I already know people are gonna be like just.
Don't even be surprised. What happened?
Bonus consistency detail that we forgot to address. Horikoshi just straight up drawn the empty eye socket because he hasn't had time to get any support course items to replace his glass eyes.
Yeah,
bonus consistency.
And that's literally so funny, because when I was rereading the fight once again, the detail that he was like, all right, now I'm serious, and he had pulled it when he was pulling his serious out of his pocket. Nigga had like fucking 6 or 7 like different ones falling at the same time. Like, damn, nigga, how many moves you got?
Like, so yeah, like no eye at all in the socket, just letting us see that like a hole into the.
I see Horikoshi gave you what I asked for. It's not like I was really looking for it, but he did it, and I really appreciate it, because I ain't got to hear niggas bitching and crying about it. We getting to see the actual ramifications of like what the streets look like now. And I really appreciate it, because he made a social commentary. It's so funny how like niggas, certain people, as in Roger, because I'm not afraid to call anybody by a name. So what's popping? I run the smoke with anybody. So he was talking about wavering. No, this is crumbling. Crumbling comes down. Like when Chicky decayed the building, it crumbled down. This is crumbling. Ain't no fucking like people trying to be like, oh, Deku gonna get these here people right here. Hope about to hear us again. Bro, them niggas is not phased. Some people might be like, oh, cool. Okay. You did the villain, but you're not finna watch muscular. And these niggas like, bro, these niggas not finna switch up their teams. They have set in stone.
Oh, East.
Yeah.
That tweet you mentioned was from Tuesday.
Which one?
Specifically the one that says, or like you said it, but like specifically this week alone, it was Deku has to have a couple rematches coming. That's what separates having a couple villains in your story from having a classic rogues gallery.
Yeah, I told you. I just see that. I remember that tweet, and I'm looking at the Silver Stream on Friday, and I'm like, it was like before I had read the chapter, and then like after I read it, I'm like, nigga, this nigga Aniki was calling all this shit. Like the Shindo thing was like, a few people was like, oh, it'd be cool if he had a rematch with them, but the Rogues Gallery is what took it a step further between people who just like, it'd be cool Horikoshi do a parallel again, and somebody who's read comic books and actually knows a lot more in-depth things, which is why some people trust Horikoshi more than others. And by the way, the shonen is a demographic, and more than half their base is aimed at 18 and up. Not fucking 12-year-olds like y'all like to claim it is, and what limits and separates. No, I actually looked in 2009 and in 2019, more than half of it was like the demographic was based on people buying the magazine was fucking like from 16 to up. And to think about if somebody started at 12, let's even say back in 2014 when My Hero started, let's say the mass majority of half of it was at 14. You do realize people age and grow up into like 17, 18. Yes. So like the Horikoshi can do what he wants because his fucking demographic is rising. It's not like, all right, I turned 19. I'm just gonna stop reading My Hero Academia. I dropped this shit. No, nigga. The same consistency for every volume has been at least 500K. All right, up. So the same people have been reading since the fucking series.
Shonen, she gets the shonen, like you said, are demographic, and Neketsu is the genre that we are right now in Shonen Jump. The most battle series are Neketsu. Neketsu, like it means burning blood. I think so. Like to say that it's about fights and about stuff like this, So yeah, when you talk about the genre, we don't talk about shonen, but Neketsu, Naruto, Bleach. Just give names. The big three here. The Jump Hell set are Neketsu, and they're shonen Neketsu. You get shonen romance stuff like this. So yeah, for people to make the difference, here's your explanation. So
yeah, we got something. My bad.
Yeah, do you want to add something so I can ask my question because I was about to talk something totally
actually
different.
No, go ahead and do that because I'm about to tell the chat to act on stuff because it's going to be a shorter stream today because the chapter was straightforward. It had a lot of stuff, but it's just mainly we're waiting on next week. And but I want to talk about the movie and the episode, but I want to wait because we don't have much to talk about right now. So you go in the chat. You guys bring up some topics you want to talk about.
Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about it. So Deku. Right now, we just saw him coming here as a hero, stuff and doing his shit, and we saw the reaction of the society, guys. So you have to understand something. I would like to know for people that maybe that didn't understand is that the situation that's happening right now is happening through all Japan. This is we just see in city. So fans here, this scene is shown as an example with people that we know what is happening throughout Japan. That people say no.
Real quick. Let me hit up the super chat.
Okay.
Yo, I don't know about you guys, but what looks like the society is gone, wavering. Good job, Jorge Valdez. Talk your shit. Talk your shit, Jorge.
Facts.
Because we earned it.
So, where was I? So, does this something that's happening everywhere? Villains or things? The cities, the way that the cities look are not cities anymore. You know what I mean? When people say about that society is wavering, it's not wavering. Society when you think about it, when war is happening, is society wavering? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. If you're walking on your city, you see everything destroyed, you might die on the street. Is that society wavering or is that society crumbling? That's a question that I want to ask to the chat and to you guys too.
Okay.
Okay.
So
First, I'm gonna real quick hit up the super chat so it doesn't go away. Mr. Mexta asked, "Do you think Deku versus Muscular is gonna be a close fight or Kaneki versus Jason?" Hashtag Hail Hori.
definitely gonna be a close fight, and I believe like what Aniki said about the road guy. I think the fight won't, because to tie it to somebody else said, Almighty Fishman to Deku going around. Oh no, not Almighty, it's somebody else who said that. Oh, Brendan Pavora. If I pronounced that wrong, my bad. He was talking about. You think Deku definitely not is gonna kill Muscular? That's not in his character whatsoever. He can't really see right. He can't really send him to jail or anything. I mean, they can send him to jail, but like I don't think the fight's gonna end like in a conclusive. Well, even if it does get a winner, which if it is Deku or like Muscular going to bounce.
For the guys that saw me with the knife, I'm eating some cheese. So
Yeah, Muscular's definitely gonna bounce, and I think the third rematch would just be a wash at this point when they really meet like way down the line again, which would improve the role.
It's a thing that many people said, even in I won't say names, but they really thought that if Muscular comes, that Deku will wash him. I thought to myself, you really don't read.
You can text me those names because I say it. I say the damn names. I don't give a fuck. You niggas wilding. I'm tired of this nonsense.
Okay, so real quick, somebody asked how I feel about the glowing baby potentially being worshipped. And I will point you to my latest video from the My History Academia franchise, dropping it in the chat. Because during that video, I directly stated that I wagered the baby would have been a religious figure that people would have traveled to or made it a point to worship and interact with or gather scientific data of. And in the process of traveling to the baby, carried the disease that the baby had across the country and across the world, leading to the quirk's mass proliferation through all of the planet and allowing the population to have an 80% quirk ratio by after only like 4 or 5 generations, when that's way too fast for the typical evolutionary trait to proliferate. So that's how I feel about your question about the glowing baby. I feel like we talked about this. And if you go and watch that video, you'll see even more information.
Facts. Watch the video, drop a like, put a comment, put your input in it so we can talk about it on the Discord or social media. And yeah, guys, like the stream. We are like with 137 people and we just got 65. The stream won't be long, so let's get these 100 that we get every stream. Show your love.
So in a couple of minutes, I just asked some more questions, and like a little while, we'll talk about the movies and other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel, Roger's statement didn't age. Other people's statement didn't age. Rex's statement didn't age. Like, that's what happens when you prejudge. Like I told you, don't judge this shit week to week, because if you want to like rant and go on off the hip, then when you get proven wrong eventually, I'm coming for you, and I don't want to hear excuses.
The thing about it is that if you can handle that you can be wrong, it is something that it is good. I don't have a problem if you say stuff that you might be wrong, because we know nobody is perfect. I was how many times I was around my theory about the quirks of the users of One for All. For the moment, I'm totally in the wrong, because if N really is like has a quirk like making smoke, that will be interesting to see. Really interesting because I really thought that he was based on Wolverine, so I knew he had something from his hand. Maybe he's like a combination of Wolverine and Smoker. The fact that he has like that the smoke comes from his right hand, maybe something like this. But yeah, it is really something interesting to see where it's going. Next to this, yeah, guys, don't be afraid to say stuff. Don't be afraid to say that you're wrong. That's just bad. Nobody's perfect, you know.
So,
many people. Yeah.
Yeah, because this whole weird narrative that I watched the Roger stream from last week. He didn't mention it when he was on there with us, but they kind of talked about like, well, if the villains had won, and I'm like, how did they lose?
Still confused. Like, how can you read 306 and still say they lost, bro? 307 just re-solidified. Like, I swear to God, it's almost every chapter after that shit that had the real world involved literally just reinforced they did not lose. They lost twice. Who was close to us? Yes,
Mhm.
but with 10,000 count when that chapter 300 and 301, there was like that many damn niggas on the street, and the villains that keep rising and the heroes declining. That shit told you like, okay, they lost Compress and Maki. No, they lost Maki, who's an actual threat. Guess what? They could just get that nigga back because who's gonna really stop them? They don't know where All For One at. They don't know where Shigaraki. Everybody in the wind. They got too much shit to handle. They ain't got enough forces. Like, how do you call that a real loss?
I would like just to say something. Mr. Max Stuff said they got Shindo in the popularity poll, and Hobby humbled them by having him get washed into Panos. It's an evil world we live in.
That nigga bro, coach said, y'all have me drawing this stupid ass nigga for what?
For sure.
Okay, to be fair, if I were Hori and I took the time to like craft all these characters and like I had like, you got like Hawks, Endeavor, blah blah, blah, like Dobby, all these characters, just going in on, like just snapping with the pen,
Mhm.
and then they put one of your characters in there just because he's pretty,
Mhm.
because he's pretty. You telling me I've been grinding and whipping and serving, and you gonna do that to me?
Man,
You lucky he still got limbs.
That nigga is.
You would have know what happened to that boy if it was me.
Just listen to the nigga. His power is to shooking people. He gets shook.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh man.
Hey, AC, man, you're not wrong. Let's address a couple more questions before we. I see y'all movie questions, but I'm trying to hold off. But I think since we have 40, we can at least make this an hour to an hour and a half.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I think we can talk. So let me address these two like regular questions and then like our comments, and then we can fucking jump into the movie stuff. Because some people have questions about the movie, I guess.
For sure. The
No,
movie.
Xavier, you can't blame these niggas for quitting. You cannot blame these niggas for quitting, bro. Like,
Okay, look, you can't blame these niggas for quitting in the sense that, like, in this scenario, anybody would back down. But you can ultimately blame the people for the impact of them quitting has.
Mhm.
Because whether you like it or not, once you signed up for this role, you placed society's mental safety on your shoulders.
Facts.
You essentially said, I will be responsible and upholding and keep you happy. I will make sure you're safe and you have those assurances. So all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I actually got to do those things that they mentioned doing to make this happen. I don't think I want to do my job for real.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that perspective, it is a bit of an issue because it's like you signed up to not actually do what you said you was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that does have those negative social ramifications. There's just no way to get around that. And that is on you. And you do have to accept the fact that you caused a bunch of backlash by doing it. It's just how it is.
The World D champion just said, just swinging by, Fire Chapter as always, Deku the GOAT. Shindo paid the price for making the top 10 in that Polar poll. Hurry the GOAT. Oh man, facts. I didn't see it like this, but no, right now I understand you guys really.
Well,
Here you go. You Aniki?
What's up?
We just got
I used to type comments about Spider-Man coming through once again. I heard a theory that Deku will journey fighting villains he came across, trying but failing to save them. When Deku was close to quitting, he meets Gentle and Labrava as heroes and cementing his ideals. I want Deku to run into Gentle and Labrava again anyway.
Facts.
And I want them to have an interaction that is largely positive. Like I would love like a Deku and Gentle team up where like Deku shoots the air bullet and then Gentle's like gently rebound and it's like specifically to ricochet and like get some villain that thought they were gonna escape or something like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun with that. I guess a lot of fun with that. I would love that.
Wait, what did you say? So Endot said Deku doesn't have 6 villains to fight. Stain is most likely not going to fight him, and who knows where. I think that somebody tried to think that Deku could have like his own Sinister Six, but yeah, he doesn't have it. Right now, Deku just his villain that he has is Shigaraki. You got Shigaraki, but the other ones for this gallery, you got Muscular and Overhaul right now. We just got again Siobhan.
I got it. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Siobhan Robinson coming through once again. Horikoshi used a muscular to show how strong Deku has become a smart, because Deku took a high diff against him the last time. So I expect the mid to low diff this time. I expect that like he's gonna have to tag muscular multiple times. I don't think he's gonna get one shots in, but I could see it being where Deku doesn't really take any damage. That's really, I don't think Deku's gonna be taking a lot of damage this fight. That smoke quirk is more than likely so that we can feasibly have him get past that, especially because his perspective, which I really do want to talk about this, because of the way he talks in the very last page goes to show that Deku's entire perspective on his quirk seems to have shifted.
Yep, that's really true about it. The way that he was talking, I don't know what happened after talking to the second and the third, but it must have a big effects on the way that he became even more like the more like, what did he say, like in the last page, he was, Deku is always polite, but the way that he talks, no wonder my gift from the fourth wouldn't shut up.
Right. Real quick, our blast coming through again. Shindo still is pretty cool, and I really love how he handled talking to that old fart to me. Hail Hori. Yes, throw them Hail Horis in the chat. I don't have a problem. Like, I agree with Shindo. I would have, man, low key, I would have been like, yeah, like, fuck this dude. But like, I get it. And Coach, he does need to come into this. We can get on that later. Because yeah, the thing with Deku here, also I love the fact that both of these chapters, Horikoshi has had Deku make an impact, but with only just the last 2 pages.
Yes.
Where it's like, all right, cool. We see that he's kind of like, and then boom, drop kicks muscular, and he's like, no wonder my gift from the fourth wouldn't shut up.
I just have to shout out to my man Real Settery.
Yeah. Just
saying that you saying great things, like it is time for Koichi to come in, man.
And we got another super chat. Andrew Lalavar coming through. This man Horikoshi spent an entire chapter on Shindo, yet people expect and want him to finish the story in 100 chapters.
Well, Shindo did win in the pop. He didn't win, but he
got. Whoa! I didn't expect that.
Whoa! Hey, Sun Patch.
Hello, Sun.
Yo, surprise! I snuck in there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if he was influenced at all because of the popularity poll, which came out of literally nowhere, but he did end up in the top 10 for I don't know why.
I
mean, that might be why it's given him some.
I mean, I guess it's okay to bring him back just for this purpose, because you can use some characters we know that have a professional license without bringing it back to the UA kids, because he was in a double spread of all the kids from UA, from 1A, 1B, Suketsu, and Ketsubutsu.
Mm-hmm.
They were on 2 from Ketsubutsu, but like we know Inasa and his people, Cammy and the other nigga, Meatball Boy, they were also doing their internships too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so one of the things we talked about, like when we got the Paranoble Liberation work, he was like, man, are we gonna get to see the other students? There's no way Horikoshi would have like shown all of them and then been like, they don't matter. And so now we see like, okay, yeah.
Well, this is brilliant because so many heroes who would have taken all the spotlight, they all quit. So the only people that are really left to take the spotlight are the heroes, both on our end and from other schools. It really, like, when you get rid of probably a couple thousand heroes, it really gives other people a chance to shine.
And it justifies it, because one of the things that My Hero has done, because it's supposed to be based on, you know, like a real world setting, is they've gone out of the way to not let the kids be in danger as often as possible.
Right.
And now it's not an option like that. You've had a bunch of people die. You've had people just quit and retire. People who are so desperate to be safe that they're like giving up the secrets. Like, hey, one for all. I don't know exactly what that is, but Shigaraki was after it. Do with that what you will, press. Like,
yeah.
It's funny in that regard because, like I said, like this has been in the back of Horikoshi's mind, as per usual, my GOAT top one. Been in the back of his mind for so long. He gave the kids license way back when, and then at EA, there was like, all right, yo, Endeavor, you and everybody else, and y'all UA folks, you need to train these kids up just in case shit goes left field as a contingency plan. So just in case we do lose this battle and shit don't go right, we kind of got the kids to have real world experience and not just sitting in class to be doing this stuff like that. And lo and behold, this is literally what Horikoshi said was going to happen. And now you got them in the streets, which is like I tried to tell people before. The story is set up so we're not going to be spending an entire arc in school kiddie playing anymore. Like post, like
they still do. It's a fine balance because this isn't Naruto. Like this isn't technically a world where 16-year-olds should be at war. They are technically still supposed to be in school, which is why, like, they're not shutting down the schools. These kids are still going to continue to be in school. The only reason why Izuku is an exception is because the schools are now a shelter, and if Izuku is in the shelter, you've put a big red X on just the school and all the civilians now taking shelter there.
Right, like the guy mentioned, and that's one of the things that I don't know, like Roger came on and we were talking about this like last week, and he's like, well, they've got shelters, so everybody's safe. And I was like, they've got shelters, so they know exactly where to go if they want to kill people.
Facts.
Dobby literally said, guess how they go far enough, huh?
As long as that you have enough competent heroes that are there, which I mean, UA right now, all of just the first years are stronger than the vast majority of everyone already out as a pro. Like, that is one of the safest places that you can be, because as we saw in just this chapter, you had the few civilians that were taking shelter in that broken down business. And if Shindo hadn't been there, if Deku hadn't showed up, they'd be dead.
Like super dead.
Super dead. The fact that they ever thought that they had a prayer, they're like, let's go rescue the kid. You think you're going to rescue that kid? Really?
That was so funny for me because literally it shows how incompetent that they are because they never trained with quirk. They never trained with people with their own quirk. They don't know their stuff. You know what I mean? They're just, the whole society made that people like them don't go to fight with their quirks, even if they have the power to. And when you the best thing to show this is when the turtleneck get called by one of her, I don't know who. She said, go away, that man is coming. Just because, yeah, he's like Aniki said, he's in the bingo book, that man. Muscular is a monster of power. Even with two people, you can't end him. And what did the thing is that Turtleneck, they did what hero must do. He said, you know what, go save the civilians, I will take him on one-on-one. That's what the hero should do, because there were people there. If they were just normal, if they didn't care about the way to how a hero has to be, they could have run away and they would have escaped. But no, Shinto stands and fought, trying to protect them, and Turtleneck tried to save them. And what happened? And people don't know what really. Sometimes Horikoshi really studies science in different manner to explain stuff, like why does his vibration don't go through the muscle armor of I forgot his name, muscular. Because vibrations, how farther they go, or how they lose energy, so they become less potent, less powerful. So if he had just touched his head with his vibrations, Muscular would have been dead. This is something that.
Yeah. So people like sometimes talking about they could take out some fodder villains, but Tartarus and some of those Scion and other big bad prisons, all you need is a handful of people from Tartarus to pull up, because Muscular is probably like a muscular tier nigga is pretty common in Tartarus, I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure they have a bunch of big bads because they freed a bunch of people from all around. So there's a lot of top tiers out there in these streets now. And with Dobby near off one and Shigaraki and them, like Dobby said, I haven't gone far enough yet, huh? And started laughing. So like everybody keeps saying, it's just a big target on their back. So Dobby's like, all right, so y'all need some real reckoning, huh? What you think he gonna do? He definitely the Todoroki's, everybody's the Todoroki's in trouble. And those shelters are definitely in trouble. Because you pull up one high end and a couple people on musculus tier, which wouldn't be hard to find a right in the story, since Tartarus and all them, that's not that hard to pull up on those shelters and wipe it out, decimate. Even let's say even they took out the villain, even they took out some villains, a bunch of people, innocent people are going to die. They can't protect themselves. They're not willing to protect themselves, and the heroes are going to get slaughtered. And let's just say they got taken out, the villains got taken out after the fact. That's still going to be like, all right, one of the primary shelters for our safety just got attacked, and God knows how many people died.
I do think one thing to keep in mind is power levels and our idea of power levels. Like, I think a lot of the people in Tartarus are probably very evil. Kind of like, almost like a good analogy would be One Piece. You don't necessarily have to be a very powerful pirate in One Piece to have a very high bounty. You just got to kill a lot of people.
So actually, some question, I want to back you up because I've been doing some research into like genetic engineering stuff or other videos, and Overhaul is like objectively an extremely smart biochemical engineer.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm still angry at Overhaul. He could have been the greatest hero in this freaking series. If not hero, he could have been the greatest doctor. The amount of things that this man could have done, and he chose this. Because I'm still upset.
Because the other thing with it is that some of the same stuff that he did with Avery's quirk factor, he arguably could have done with his own.
Yes, that's the thing about it.
Just with like based on the knowledge he's displayed, but like, so I don't think people realize that like if we're gonna go with One Piece terms, if Ujiko is Vegapunk, then Overhaul is basically Vinsmoke. Like that level of scientific intelligence. Like so it's like he can do some pretty crazy stuff. And it's especially impressive when you factor he's a 23-year-old in a Yakuza basement. Like
Overhaul concerns me because if he can't use his quirk, that's too good of a quirk to just leave be. And Shigaraki is already so freakishly overpowered. All for One is so freakishly overpowered. Do you really want to give that to him? I mean, do you really? Like, but that's just, it's such a huge quirk to just leave there useless in just Overhaul where he can't use it. I am interested because they let Stain's just gonna start probably killing bad guys. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited for him to start popping up left and right. Man. There was that random focus on the one girl escaping Tartarus. It'll be interesting to see where people take sides. And also you mentioned like it only takes a few people from Tartarus. Who in all of Tartarus is teaming up together? They don't know each other. They don't care about each other. They hate each other probably. They're all going off their own ways, doing their own things in a dystopian society because they have free reign. There is no law and order or any coordination on their side whatsoever.
That's where All for One in them come in because he literally said, brothers, if you want freedom, come to me. He's already used to manipulating, using his power to influence people to get on his side. He's got plans in the back of his mind. Because I was talking to somebody in Discord, they made a mention like, oh, we shouldn't see Shigaraki this and that, which is completely wrong because Shigaraki is parallel to Deku. His entire growth, Shigaraki's not scared because we don't know what he's doing as the final in-game villain, as business in the back or no. That's not the point. That works for All for One because this nigga always has tricks up his sleeve this entire time. He's got plans, like he's not just let this free run and all that go. He's making moves in the background because he had this plan from the get-go. In that conversation, All Might, he's like, yeah, remaining years. Sure, I'll be in here that long, and started laughing. Looking low and behold, now less than a year later, he back out in the streets making moves, and he's not with Shigaraki's body. He said, "You guys watch over it." So he's making moves this entire time in the shadows.
So this is what I think. I think this is going to determine how big our time skip is and where our time skip takes place. I think we're looking at a 2-year time skip. I think that, in my opinion, Izuku was about to get caught by UA staff or UA class 1A. And he made the logical call of, I got to get out of there. But I don't think that the answer is a 16-year-old living homeless on the streets for the next 2 years. I think you can't tell me that All Might condoned this. You can't tell me Aizawa condoned this and will continue to condone it for the next 2 years.
Yeah, no.
All Might left for America to hide from All for One. This has already been done. For me, that seems the most logical thing to do. The only thing that concerns me about this is it going to take All for One 2 years to rally everything he wants together? Or is he just going to chill, think I got all the time in the world, and maybe Shigaraki will resist All for One for 2 years? How long can Shigaraki resist All for One? But I think 2 years is the timeline we're going to be working with here.
That's the thing. I would like to ask you a question. Do you think that All for One is just like that he wants to manipulate Shigaraki, or that he's like right now tutoring Shigaraki in his I will say creepy way right now?
Oh, Shigaraki's nothing but a pawn. That's why he's so tragic, and that's why Deku actually wants to reach out and save him, is because he can see he's just been so used his whole life. Shigaraki knows he's been used his whole life. He even went along with All for One's plan thinking, I will use him because I know he's just using me. But at the end of the day, All for One is All for One, and he is the most evil thing on the face of the planet. Like, it's hard to come up with, I think, characters this self-centered and this evil.
Okay, next question. What do you think that he wants for One for All?
Why does he want One for All?
Mm-hmm.
Power. I mean, why wouldn't he? That's the only power on the face of the planet that can oppose him. And if he gets it back, he is unstoppable. There is nothing on this on the face of this planet that can actually oppose him. It's the one thing that he has never been allowed to have. If nothing else, if not power, then why not just want it because you can't have it?
Okay.
He's got nothing else to do but time.
Because his little brother's in there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aniki. So I will. You can explain it if you want to.
My stance on this has always been that I do agree that it's possible. All for One just straight up is like, yeah, Shigaraki's body is going to be mine. Mm-hmm. The one really big issue that I have with this is that it seems no matter what happens, the actual main body of All for One is still going to die. And so I'm like, you still die. Like, there doesn't seem to be like a hard definitive, like he can send his real true soul into Shigaraki. So it seems like to a certain degree, there should always be a bit of a tug of war over who's in control of the body. Like there should always be like a Shigaraki in there because it's his body. Like that's just what he is. Mm-hmm. And all that's being changed really is like a bit of genetic coding in theory. So that's like the one issue that I have is I'm trying to figure out how it really counts as a victory when it's objectively a different body, or All for One's ego is just that powerful that he's like, well, as long as it's a version of me, like in software, it counts as me, and that's all I need. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out with like that, like how those rules play out, because it could all like it for me. It feels like he almost wants to just like get his little brother back and like have his brother, and on some really creepy, weird, like no, you can never escape me. And like once he's got his brother, he doesn't really care about what else happens now. He's like, all right, I can't live forever. I can be like a gestalt of power, sure, but I'm not actually alive. So at least I'll have my little brother while I'm living in this person's body for the rest of existence.
You know,
as the creepy weirdo he is.
That's how I see.
Hold on. You know, for Almighty Fishmake and Mr. Mink, see, y'all, the Shiggy body thing. Just like remember, this entire time he's been grooming Shigaraki to be the next him. Hold on, you got super check. Go ahead and pop it.
Hold up, my browser split in half. Boom. All right. Oh, Andrew Lolivar. A question for Sunpatch. Sunpatch, do you think MHA is going to have a time skip, or is Hori going to write Deku to somehow get strong enough to be AFO Shiggy without it? Sunpatch was leaning towards time skip.
Yeah, can you repeat that question? I'm sorry, I missed like half of it.
They asked if you think we're going to go with the time skip route, or if we're going with Deku just getting to be stronger or strong enough to beat him without it.
I think we're getting My Hero Academia Shippuden, essentially. I think that we're going with a 2-year time skip. I really do. Because I think that there's either we handle this now, and I don't think Izuku's strong enough to handle this now because we just had him fight like a week ago and he lost. You can only improve so much so fast. Or we give everybody time. Because Izuku hasn't reached his strongest by far. And Shigaraki hasn't reached his strongest by far. And he's got a lot going on his end as well. I think that just the environment that Japan is in right now, there's too much to just continue as we are and then try and handle Japan's economy at the moment at the same time as like what all is going on with the heroes. There's the easiest way to handle it, both on power scaling and in terms of just, okay, I know where I want to take everything. Let me just get there and then explain everything in a chapter. That would probably be the easiest thing for Horikoshi to do. And that way we would get to see a time skip and get to see our people older. We know that Horikoshi's wanted to say, he's gone on record saying he wants to do a series that is older, that's darker. Well, the time skip gets us there and we're already in the darker, so.
Also, Sunpatch, I just want to thank you for mentioning that Japan's economy is an issue that Horikoshi is not just going to sidestep.
Oh, yeah.
He can get us to, like, because like we had Roger on, and I was like, no, because Roger, like, economic impacts. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't know. And I was like, no, like, it's my hero. Like, we're going to be stuck talking about the economy at some point. Like,
well, you have, I mean, a lot of it is the hero system. And we just had the breakdown of the hero system. You have all of the civilians for the last couple of chapters show, we don't give a crap about heroes anymore. They're going to have to change. And this doesn't just affect the hero system. This is how the government runs. This is how, like, there's been a whole breakdown in government. We can't even get other heroes in from other countries to help right now because the government has stopped functioning. Like,
yeah. And that is something that's really good to hear that from you, because many people don't see that. They don't understand that how important is the heroes for the economy, because heroes drives the economy literally. People buy stuff, people buy these games maybe about heroes, and all that thing is stopped in one moment. In one day, everything stops.
I think people forget that UA doesn't control Japan. It's very much like being controlled by Japan.
The thing about that too is, like, y'all talk about comments stuff like that. Look at the streets. They were literally talking about, oh, we got a phone call. How long are the cell towers going to even last at this point? If you have an issue with talk about how long our phone call might last, you should realize that we are in the fucking mud at this point. Like, look at the streets are in a total havoc. Like, have you seen a post-apocalyptic movie? Like, that's what Japan is looking like. That's what I'm glad Horikoshi kind of surveyed the land a little bit, so you can really get the full effect, other than just like, okay, words and you would know it, but like, nah, he's giving you like dialogue that says, okay, yeah, we don't really care. We got to, like, you can see the fucking chairs and stuff build up and stacked up as like a defense mechanism, so people can't just bust in like that. Like, it is in the mud. But let me talk about this, since everybody, damn, I used to type long comments about Spider-Man.
Yes.
Let me hit that up.
And I will add something to it after you read
thank you, because I'm about to go into the Shigaraki stuff, because we got a super chat last, but he made my point. I can go.
Shiggy kills all for one for his friends instead of his hatred. Also, Gran Torino is dead and a bum father. That's why Deku is edgy. I'm dying on this hill.
Thank you. I just type comments, because listen, I don't know what people don't really get. Like, this is why MHA Horikoshi is literally aware of everything in the story. That people need to learn what meta commentary within the verse is. People talk about, well, you got this Naruto PTSD and you're so scared that Akuma's just taking over his body like a Orochimaru. So if you're going to use that PTSD, use it all the way and not halfway. Then Sasuke body Orochimaru when he tried to take over his body. So once again, if you're going to use the PTSD, don't just use it half-ass. Use it in the full force, okay? Shigaraki already literally said, I'm not going to be your pawn. He literally had this conversation in the war. He said, yo, I appreciate everything you did for me, master, but I'm going to be greater than you. I'm going to rise above. You don't get to be some phantom menace in my head, and decayed him and shattered him away. He only came back when he lost the battle, after he got scorched and dropped and this, that, and the other. Then off one came back when Shiggy was weakened. Once again, in Tartarus, he said, yo, master, I'm not going to be a damn pawn in this entire scheme. He's like, no, tomorrow. You're the most valuable one, this, that, and the other. Like, you have to understand, like, people just focus too much on, like, okay, because 305 is kind of irritating me. 305? Yeah, it's kind of irritating me now that, like, because now people too focused on this Shigaraki being saved thing, and he's just a victim of when he can't rise above himself. Do you not remember this man was really fight tooth and nail a demon? Say, yo, as long as I don't forget my origin, don't forget this and that and the other, I can do anything. He didn't forget, like, he is fighting tooth and nail. He doesn't go down at all. Like, you can, I would say without a fight, he doesn't go down. He keeps on fighting. NBA, like, he came back over. He could be strategic or he could be a meathead. He doesn't go down. I don't know why people keep thinking he's some tiny baby that's just going to sit there and let his allies be in danger, like he's going to
Yes.
rise above. I need people to comprehend that.
I don't think anybody thinks that he's weak per se. I mean, the only one who's over him at this point is All for One, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's up against personally in his head. But I think that people focused on that because of Deku's character. And I mean, right now Deku is the focus, but it'll be interesting to see, because he has to wrestle with All for One, who does end up coming out on top. Because Shigaraki will never just bend to All for One's will. You're right. He will fight tooth and nail until he is actually in control. All for One, whether his goal is just to take over the body or not and use him as a pawn, that is something that is a headache that is not going away. Mm-hmm. Like, he's gonna have to continue to do Shigaraki one way or another.
I would like to talk about this, about the
real quick. Here, let me hit both these super chats then, and then we'll get back into this. Joseph Cielo says, "Can't stay long. I'm on my lunch at work, but I wanted to pop in and just say hey while I had a chance. We appreciate you, Joseph."
Hello, Joseph.
Hello,
and
Joseph.
Then Siobhan Robinson coming through again. It doesn't matter what Shigaraki wants. It's a matter of if he can stop it, and from the looks of it, he can't. And that's ultimately what. So this is what I kind of have felt like the test has always been.
Yes.
All for One is willing to have his vestige in control of Shigaraki, or he's willing to have Shigaraki in control of the power of All for One. He doesn't actually care which result he gets, because either way, his plan is for a new Lord of Evil to be established. And he gets what he wants no matter which outcome there is.
Okay, I would like, I wanted to say some stuff. First thing to understand is that All for One, from the beginning, we saw many words that many people forget about, that he was like saying that Shigaraki is going to be the new him, and we get also the fact that he's always said that this quirk is not good enough for Shigaraki. It's not good for Shigaraki when we talk about the quirk of Beast Genius, because Beast Genius quirk takes a lot of training. So when you think about it, he was building up something for Shigaraki, not only for his own, but also Shigaraki. The way that he talks, the whole story. And not only that, is that when you think about his quirk, All for One, he takes and gives. And we know that quirks has an effect on the mental, psychological aspect of people. When you think about his brother, the way that he was treating his brother, that man, he loved his brother so much that he wanted to give him a quirk, even if they had different visions about it. I forgot the name. Sorry, I forgot your name, but you said something really interesting, that he has like the same kind of love as Illumi of Hunter x Hunter to his brother, literally. But more than this is obsession about it, because even Shigaraki looks like his brother, white hair, scrawny body. And when you just thinking about this, is that the way that his brother was, the origin, when I think All Might talked about this. It said that when he described the first one, he described him as somebody who was scrawny, little compared to his brother, and he had had like a great sense of justice. When you think about it, the kind of relationship that they must have had, All for One as the big brother must always have protected his brother. That's why that he took, like you said, Aniki, that he wants his brother for him. He just I really think that All for One is just like a guy who wants his brother back. That's why he wants one for all, literally. Because at the moment he feel alone. Well, you know what? When you think about it, the way that his quirks give him, he's make like a demon lord. You're alone as a human, you know what I mean? You become alone as a king, stuff like this. That is something that we see recurrently in literature, that these people feel like alone, and sometimes they want like somebody to have around them. And I think the most happy moment that he has in his life often is being with his brother. That's why that he wants the quirk, and the only way that he to be with his brother is to take the quirk over. So yeah, I don't know what you think about this, how I see stuff for the moment.
I think you and I view All for One very differently.
Yes, literally. Because
there's something else that I want to point out, is that All for One also now knows that he objectively killed his brother.
Sorry?
What do you mean, sorry?
Oh, I didn't remember. No, I didn't understand.
A second quirk.
Yes.
So by doing that, he would have shortened his lifespan. Since he's spending time with Ujiko, he now knows for sure that him giving his brother an extra quirk, even if they would have combined, would have led to his brother having a shortened lifespan when his brother was already sickly.
Oh, damn.
And he called him frail, hey, because he was real concerned about his brother's health when fucking Makia had put that nigga down the grass, like, careful, he's fragile. I was like, damn, they kind of yelled kind of fast, huh? Actually, I want to touch what Siobhan said. You see, use that and don't just direct that at Shigaraki awful. That goes every which way to every rich character. I could pull out references to everybody saying what they want to do, what they think is going to happen, but it didn't happen. My prime example of me laughing at people is when Mina said, "Don't worry, Midnight's all right. She's got plenty of stuff to teach us at school." What happened at the end of the arc? They boo-hooing at the club, crying. What did Hawk say? Don't worry, they're underestimating us. By the time all the cherry boxing flaw again, it will all be smiling. And I don't see nobody smiling this chapter at all.
Guys.
It keeps going around and around. Like Shigaraki was down bad. When he was up and up, he told off, "Hey man, fall out my head. I'm done. Get out. I'm not doing this." He was down bad, and then Off One took over while he was down bad. He said, "Give him some time to sleep. He gonna rise." Like that's happening. I need y'all to really get that. Like he just needs some time to rest, and he gonna take that man.
He
down.
Also right now he does technically need Shigaraki's help. The whole idea of all of this is that you need the anger and rage of a second soul. One soul is not enough to take over One for All.
And that's the thing about it.
He does need some level of cooperation from Shigaraki. Like, he's not just going to like kill off his soul because he does need that extra soul right now. But also, you mentioned like Shigaraki looking like his brother. Shigaraki only now looks like his brother. Initially, when Shigaraki was born, when he was still Tenko, he had black hair.
So you think that's
wait. You got any more to say first, Sunpatch?
Regarding.
Okay, no. I just wanted to make sure that point was finished. Then I was going to hit the super chat. Then we get because this kind of seems like it's stemming from your after school of thought anyway. So I used to type comments about Spider-Man and said, Bonzu, AFO locked his brother in a vault. It's not love, it's possessive obsession. Oh, we can talk about how people think they're doing things that's love, and it's not.
Yes.
Oh, like we could have that discussion. It's the same thing applies to like Endeavor too, where he's like, I'll just not be around you. That'll stop you from thinking about heroes, and it won't make you feel neglected at all.
Yes.
Like, and but then thoughts on the theory that AFO gave Shiki decay. I'm gonna say right now, my biggest issue with that premise is that knowing what we know now, AFO would have been better off taking a quirkless vessel and just sticking his real quirk in that for the sake of its body, because the body would have needed far less modification than giving somebody a quirk and then stockpiling another one on top of that.
X.
And then instead of already a mutation,
giving the quirkless, I guess just taking a quirkless person, you mean in general, and just starting with All for One as the base quirk.
Because the way it's explained is that the reason why One for All didn't blow up All Might or like tear him apart is because he didn't have a quirk. So he's just getting one quirk placed into his vessel.
What if that was actually the goal? What if that helps kill off Shigaraki faster?
But then do you want your vessel to burn out so that you have to switch bodies again?
Well, you don't have to deal with this body for long, and then you can switch to a new one.
But because the thing about decay is that you remember how All for One combined the radio waves with the air blast, or Shigaraki did it?
No, that was Shigaraki.
But they both end up doing it at different points. But like part of what I think is that the quirk decay itself is special, and he's combining decay with the metaphysical concepts of All for One to particularly break down those barriers. So while he's saying it's like the hatred is partially just a byproduct of decay and All for One as quirks melding together to be fused. So from that perspective, I don't see why he would need to give it to Shigaraki and why he would not just host it himself and then still combine those abilities to decay the psychological barriers within a person.
Yes. He could have just...
Wait. Let Sunpatch go.
Yes.
I just wonder, decay is weird because up until Shigaraki just recently got his new body, which is like an enhanced version of what All for One had to begin with, decay was awful. Like, if he's not actively destroying something, it's destroying himself. He's constantly itching. It's like he's breaking apart. I almost wonder if All for One got decay and was like, oh my gosh, this sucks, but it's too good to not use. And he's like, whose life can I ruin? Oh, Nana Shimura's grandson.
One problem I have with
Oh.
So one problem I kind of have with that theory is that it is established in a flashback by All For One in the overhaul arc that decay was a mutation.
Thank you, Sweet.
It's in the same vein as Ares Rewind, as in it's a completely freak ability, that's completely unrelated to their lineage. I don't understand why, and in the context of the scene, he is talking to Dr. Ujiko in that scene. I don't see why All For One would lie about what's pretty obviously a mutated ability being actually something from like another lineage, from like some random dude's family. I don't see that. Unless he took that really 1 in a million guy's quirk and then he put it in Nana's grandson, which I feel that's just too impractical.
Well, okay. So one thing that I do want to say is that okay, I'll hit that super chat up. But I do want to acknowledge that Sunpatch isn't wrong for implying that All For One would be petty enough to do all that.
No,
we have to admit that he is not above being that petty.
He's petty.
He's not, but it's just there's more that goes into it. But because we have context that like it was a mutation. If you tie that back with Eri, they both have mutations.
Yeah, they both have the red eyes and the white hair.
Yeah,
and I think that there's one bit that like they might have missed, and that's that a quirkless vessel is better for transference, and they might have targeted Shigaraki thinking, well, he's a next gen mutant. He's like an Omega level, just like All For One is, with the white hair, because like in all the flashbacks, he seems to have the white hair. So it's like if you look at it.
Dummy question: is this something that All For One would have known though? Like this is something that the One For All users are just now finding out about.
So.
Really?
I think that there's partial information that All For One's missing, and I think there's some information that they may or may not have an advantage of now. Like the Cell Division one, I'm not sure that All For One knows that yet, if I'm being honest, because that's why I think that he chose what he considers to be like a higher tier candidate because it's an Omega level, like that progressed. Like I think he assumes that Shigaraki's a better candidate because of his quirk being more evolved, but it may actually be the exact opposite, and that Deku was always the best candidate, and then All For One chose wrong. But I do want to real quick hit up Siobhan Robinson's super chat. The whole quirkless thing was only figured out by the One For All veterans, and it's unknown if AFO and Ujiko know that being quirkless is a good thing. So yeah, they might not know, like Siobhan said. It's a toss up. So that's why I don't know why like handing him multiple quirks when they already know that stockpiling them would be good. But I think that if you just misinterpreted it as, well, this person's more evolved, I can use this body because it's a more sophisticated one, and we'll be able to handle the burden of all this extra stuff.
Listen, I'm gonna just say this. All right, people. All For One giving Shiraki and then like that, all that stuff, it backtracks on so much stuff you have to retcon. From the time All For One was incepted into the manga, on panel screen talk about the boy was born twisted, this, that, and the other is like, all right, man, like there's so much stuff. You had the back inner monologues, him talking to Ujiko. It was all for the boy, this, that, and the other. Doctor, hurry up. Yo, tomorrow, watch these people because in the sports world, watch these kids because they could become a threat later on. Whatever. Don't worry, tomorrow at meeting the stand on them. I didn't expect to go with that with the hero kill that fast, but it worked out how I planned it. He was like, not tomorrow, rise and gain these allies. Take heed here. I'll give you whatever you need. You failed here, but come back stronger. It's like everything he's doing. You don't need to do all this for a vessel. You don't need a vessel's mental state to progress. All he would have needed was to focus on a nigga body, and I could take it because guess what? The mind doesn't matter if all you need is the body. There's so much stuff like in that simple concept. Then you have to all the stuff we know about the relationship that you have to go back on his inner monologues and stuff and just stuff like that.
But he does need emotional state. Like part of him building up Shigaraki was him building up his hatred and all of his emotions. Like that's a lot of it. That's what's giving him the base for stealing.
I'm not okay with this.
No.
No, because literally what's happening, if you build somebody's hate, you have to try to remember what they're hating for. The only thing that he was hating for me was All Might. For what we know, because he was hating the society how it was. But for the moment, we never saw, I will say, All for One, preparing him to just making him hating people, hating All Might, like just talking about this. He was always trying to prepare him like to become a king. Literally, was what you gain your allies, stuff like this. So that's why I'm really asking myself sometimes, what is the next step for Shigaraki? For me, is to abandon this hate right now. If he wants to get over to move above All for One right now, the vestiges, it is to accept the hate and like just going to the next step, accept it and throw it away to become something greater. If this happens, it will be like the monster that people talk about, because when he will destroy not because of hate, but he will destroy for destroying stuff. Because right now, this hate is literally, I will say, blocking him. That's what's happening right now. And that's why also All for One took over, he said, because he has his hate. And right now, what is happening right now, I think that All for One just wants him to, if he's testing him, that he's just, if you go this way, to learn him that he has to stop to hate, just be himself by destroying, stop to really care about caring about stuff, because hating is kind of caring about something, I think so. And that's what's happening right now.
I mean, I think that you're definitely right. You have to care about something, I think, to give that counter reverse of emotion.
Yes.
And I think part of that is even adding fuel, okay, say All for One has given Shigaraki things to care about. He's given him allies. He's built up kind of an empire that he planned on taking over and taking away from Shigaraki and just fueling Shigaraki's hate for him even more. It doesn't matter what Shigaraki's hate is aimed at. He just needs him to feel something and be pissed at something at all times.
Yeah, that's also a way to see things. I'm okay with you on that point. But at the moment that he understands, I don't know that he's lose that hate. I would say lose that hate, but it is more like, how can I explain this in the right words? Is that about when you start to hate some stuff, you just go above this. That's what I experienced that sometimes some months ago. It's just like you just go above this. And if this is the way that Horikoshi brings Shigaraki, it is really scary what's gonna happen next. Because people who have this type of emotions, when they lose stuff like hate and start just to do what the instincts does, the instinct of Shigaraki, literally his quirk is about destruction. It's just decaying stuff. He will just like All for One things. Sometimes they say that sometimes when I see something pretty, I just have to take it. I don't want to have to be mine, because his quirk is like this. All for One, everything is for me. You know what I mean? All for someone. That's how he acts every time. And like I told you, he keeps that. It is consistent with the fact that when he sees some things that he see interesting, that he
I
wants
think
it for
we're
him.
arguing two different things.
Wow, maybe because
I think you're saying that in order for Shigaraki to evolve as a person, in order for him to overcome All for One, he needs to rise above that hate, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm saying that basically All for One, what he's trying to breed is just that hate, because that's what's best for him. He doesn't want Shigaraki to overcome that hate. That's the mindset he needs for Shigaraki to be in. We're having two different conversations.
No, we just
hold on.
Yeah.
Because to a certain degree, both of you agree that All for One fosters the hatred. You ultimately are focused on two different end goals, which can result in the same thing, but also could not. So, from Sunpatch's perspective, if he doesn't care about the hatred or whether or not he beats it or not, because the end result of Shigaraki having that hatred is he will do the things that All for One wants to happen in society. Even if he managed to defeat All for One, he would still do all the stuff, as long as he's still stuck on the hatred.
Yes.
Regardless, the destruction, all that other stuff and he'll have been a giant stain on the Shimura legacy. All of that still happens. The difference here, though, is that if All for One does care about Tomura Shigaraki as a person, beyond just as a tool, because we do agree on the Aishu Ponzu that certain lines of dialogue make absolutely zero sense.
Yes.
If Shigaraki is just a meat suit.
Yes.
Not avoiding certain quirks because they don't match Shigaraki's personality doesn't matter if you're going to be the dominant personality.
Yes, that's the thing.
So from that perspective, it's well, that doesn't matter. So like that makes it sound like, yeah, he's definitely gonna care. But at the same time, and even what he says to him while he's getting decayed is like, oh, that's right, you hate me too. But that's all the better. Like, it's fine. So to that degree, I agree with Sunpatch that he truly does want to make Shigaraki the world's greatest player hater. I think that Fonzie was correct though, and that if Shigaraki is going to have a complete character arc, he does have to get away from under the agency of All for One though, and then beat that hatred, and then his decision needs to come of, this is just my philosophy and how I view the world and how I wish to approach things, not just I've been conditioned most of my life after a couple traumatic experiences and then having those fine-tuned and groomed to be a hating ass nigga.
Yes, that's the thing about it is I will explain why, because I see the All for One and stuff. Every character in My Hero Academia as humans, so they have bad stuff and good stuff, good bad stuff and good stuff in them. And that's why I came up with that way of thought about All for One, is that just I see them as humans, and they are influenced by their quirks. What do the quirks to some people? You know what I mean? Like, Muscular is literally a meathead. He's literally the definition of this, and he's full of muscles. That's really, yes, like when we say to people that they have like muscles for brains, he's a perfect example of this, because his quirk is about muscles. That's really interesting how Horikoshi writes stuff. He said every time that in his interview that he loves making characters, and yeah. There's some details that really are interesting to see. And even we were talking about this, Anaki, in one of your videos, about the analogy about with Jesus for Shigaraki and All for One. That Shigaraki, for the moment, till right now, he always had some panels, just like the way that he was portrayed as if that he was a savior for the villains. And even back in the day, All for One was seen as a messiah back then. So it is really interesting. I don't know if I forgot this. Horikoshi writes his Shigaraki in the way that he's like a Jesus type of character. Yeah, he will learn to accept beat his hate, and we will see somebody like he will become like a kind of like transcendent. So,
but you also have to remember what I explained in the cult video,
yes,
which is that the like real life person who, okay, also Sunpatch, have you seen the video about the cult tie-ins to My Hero Academia?
No, I just heard it say Shigaraki is Jesus. I'm like, what?
Okay. So
yes.
I've been doing some very extensive deep dives into some modern Japanese history and certain historical events that have ramifications and references within My Hero Academia. Specifically, the March 20th, 1995 sarin gas attacks in Tokyo, which was led by this cult known as Aum Shinrikyo, which the leader of the cult specifically claimed to be anointed by, he's the second coming of Jesus, selected by Buddha, and he was supposed to be anointed by Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. And one of his
lot of religions all in there at once.
Right, yeah. So he's got like, it starts off as like a yoga thing, and he's like mixing in all these different things, but you notice like he's got the right to destruction. If you think about how the Metal Liberation Army, and they're like, oh, our savior who uses destruction to guide us to salvation, you could cleanse people's karma by murdering them, according to the Aum Shinrikyo's teaching, because it was the will of Shoko. They had an especially high appeal towards like otakus. Like they made art of like anime and manga that were designed to get you to come and join this was actually going like a really high like economic conscious, partially why to this day Japan has like, hey, are you a freshman on this college campus? Take this brochure on how to not get tricked into joining cults. Like this is really huge thing. Like the gas attack took out like 5,000 people, or like it injured like 5,000 people, only killed about like 13, thankfully. But like over a couple 100,000 of them were still blinded or crippled in some way, like years later. Which is part of why like Horikoshi's, like a lot of his events take place during the day, because their biggest attack was literally like at 8:10 a.m. Some guy like let loose a bunch of toxins in like 5 different subway cars. And so you had like the strategic attacks, like, reaching out, and just by him taking in all these religions, you also can kind of see that Overhaul is like an inversion of the 8 precepts of Buddha, where you have drunkenness instead of sobriety. You have, like the guy who forces everybody to tell the truth instead of just avoiding being dishonest. All these different principles, it's the path of nirvana. And Overhaul himself being focused on giving and taking away quirks through the bullets represents the balance in samsara. So all these like just theological references throughout the story is what Fonzu was referencing. There's a bunch of stuff on it. I can send you some of it if you want to later.
Not only this, Shigaraki also has stigmas on their hands, literally.
The holes in the hands, specifically are references to the stigmata that you're supposed to develop when you get like in sync with Christ and his suffering. And so you have that, and then if you remember during the germ sequence when Shigaraki is waking up and he's in his world with all the hands, he's walking towards Awful One whose arms are spread wide like the cross, and he's got this big smoky top. Just a lot of
Yes. So the way that the analogies that Horikoshi used, he used religion, his home history of his own country. If you watch the videos of Aniki, you will see things in other lights. Really, even the red stuff with there's really something that even for me, when first time that I saw the red stuff about it, I thought of the plague here in Europe. Literally, we studied this, and the reminding about why I forgot his name. Overhaul has the mask like the plague doctors, and the way that he saw that the quirks are sicknesses. It is the analogies, the subtleties of My Hero Academia are something. If you really start to dig in what Horikoshi is doing, it's scary. It's really scary to see how detailed that he is. Really, really scary. That man read a lot, and I really respect that as a reader and writer myself. So yeah.
Can I interject here because it's been a minute since I've been on a stream. Sorry about that.
I know, but I thought to myself, when is he talking?
The whole thing.
Okay. Here's what happened. Film school. It was kicking my ass. So
really,
that's why I haven't been on. Okay, but I've been wanting to get back on, and now it's my break. And oh my God, these past few chapters. Okay, let me just say very quickly. This is the most crucial Deku development we've ever gotten. The Todoroki stuff is amazing as well, but it seems like that's going to keep happening in the background. Deku focus is going to be happening for at least the next little while. Like within 3 chapters, we got Deku's new mission statement about trying to save Shigaraki. Not a certainty, but he's going to try. Chapter 306 was the Wham episode. Everything changed. Deku's on his own. Now 307, we get to see more of what things are actually like, and it's like cell towers are going down, everybody's holed up in building, it's the bloody apocalypse, and now Deku comes in and you get to see his full redesign with the hood and the cape. And what he says is not a normal Deku thing to say.
Yes.
He says, no wonder the force quirk is bugging me, and he says it very aggressively, like
that was something we were talking about before Sunpatch came in.
Yes,
that's really not the Deku from before. Like
that man.
What did this guy see in the message world to make him like this?
I'm telling you. Till today, we didn't see the dark side of one for all, and it is something that I'm keep telling about this, and I will keep speak about this. One for all is not the light. The heroes that we see were people just were wandering on the street when the other hero, the users of One for All were dying. They are the untrust one, not the chosen ones. They're not the best heroes of the world. No. They're just guys with the quirk they have to give to other one. One of them may be a bad guy or just somebody who just don't give a fuck about stuff. You have to really understand that thing. Many people think that the users of One for All are like the best heroes in the world or the best heroes of their time. No, they were just guys who were walking there, and somebody said, "Take this in your head, eat it, eat it." Just said. You have to understand that. If you understand, you will see One for All used on the different lights. The why the second and third one were back to the face to the wall. For me, it is because these guys weren't heroes. These guys were survivors. Because when you think about it, the first user was I don't think that he left his prison. Literally, I think that he died in his Volk because he didn't want to eat. He was literally I really think that he was stubborn as hell, and maybe that he died of not eating stuff like this because his brother gave food. Literally, he gave him food. He gave him.
Hold on, wait, Quantum, before we get sidetracked.
Okay, my bad.
Walk-ins.
Whoa,
you arrived too.
Let's go. And Volk and walking shit.
I need to change my government name real quick.
Fair. So yeah, but real quick, Sun Patch, because I feel like we kind of did bombard you with a bunch of stuff.
Yes, really. You see,
let me. What are you thinking about? What were you thinking about when I was explaining all that stuff? Because let's go back. That was a lot. And I'm sure you weren't exactly expecting that to be the conversation for My Hero Academia Day, but
bit of a twist for me. No, just it's funny because I've don't know about any of that history, and that honestly sounds like something I should know. But nope, had not heard of that cult before, and like Horikoshi using like inspiration from that cult like for his villains does make sense. It's just really weird because I'm a Christian, so hearing like that tie-in of that whole thing was like a what?
I know.
It was like a slight brain moment for me. But that is crazy. You're right about a lot of the symbolism like being just inverted in like the worst way possible, but there. I don't want to agree with you on One for All users. Like, as far as them not, I think they're not heroes in the sense of what we've seen as heroes in this entire series, but they did, I think, see an evil and they gave up the life that they had in order to try and thwart that. All for One has always been the worst thing. Like I think part of honestly, even why we have this discussion of things he says is he is a master manipulator. I have not seen anybody use words as well as he does as far as a villain does in a long time. Like Horikoshi does write his dialogue very, very well. And I think he even does it just to confuse his readers at points. But I think that part of just going back to Izuku and like how exhausted this boy is, the fourth quirk is such a curse, it's not funny. Like the fourth, he was right. He's like, I knew that there was no chance of me beating All for One at this point. I'm going to go off and train and build up this strength as much as possible for the next dude. That's the best use of my life at this point. Also, the world that the fourth grew up in is kind of like where where Izuku is now, except Izuku can't afford to go live in the forest right now. He has to go confront. So his mind, like the level of anxiety that this boy has been living in and will continue to live in until the end of this series is over is insane. Like he's just, the quirk is, it's danger sense. It tells you that there is constant danger around, like that's never going to go away. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and then smaller and smaller and he's just going to have to deal with that headache.
Especially because every quirk, like if we go back to when Banjo was talking, it's like, yeah, my quirk's really great and it's been boosted.
Yeah.
And it's like, you look at like danger sense and you're like, my quirk is top tier and it's been, like it's not just this like
is anxiety on steroids in the worst situation possible.
Because it's not just anxiety. You're technically always right that something wrong is happening.
Yep.
But what kind of wrong? Is it somebody's about to spill their tea on their floor, or is it son
muscular's attacking another student, they're gonna die?
Some said imagine having danger sense as a black kid growing up in America.
For real. Hey, young blood. Hey, blood. Let me talk to you real quick. Hey, let me talk to you real quick. Hey, you got smoke? You got light? And let me see your phone real quick.
Oh no!
My phone dead. I don't smoke. and I'm ignoring your ass. All three fucking moving.
Siobhan
That's just
Robinson
gonna be
coming
going off
through.
like a fire alarm.
Siobhan Robinson coming through. Horikoshi has been developing every character. However, Deku has the least amount of development, in my opinion. So it's good that Horikoshi is working on him. I think he's had the least drastic changes out of any of the characters.
Like I've always said, what I always said I value in Deku is I can see any MC get a big bad rage moment and like go crazy. That doesn't impress me anymore at this point. What impresses me is the growth, because it always happens in a lot of things. Like they have a big fight, okay, but what happens after the fight? I'm not trying to see the same person I just saw 2 seconds ago. I like the growth. So Deku's growth outside of fights is what I really respect more than anything. Like after the culture festival, he really peaked for me. That really opened my eyes. I was like, oh shit. The nigga Deku actually like changed a lot. Okay, like he could be that reassurance. He can have that charisma. Like it's in certain points, and like him not being a punk to Bakugo anymore. He's like, well, that moment they had, like it wasn't nothing to an outside reader or something like that. But back in the day, he wouldn't have talked back to Bakugo. He was like, "Ha, you can't keep on me." He's like, "No, I'm gonna be better than you." He's like, "You're still gonna die." I was like, "No, like talking shit back and forth." Those moments I can actually appreciate. It's not all about the big battles. I can see those everywhere. I'm looking for what's outside of that. That's what.
And that's what's so great about Horikoshi's writing, because I mean, I've said it on multiple occasions. I love how he writes his characters because they're so human. You can see people acting this way. Again, this is why when we did that Billboard thing a bunch of months ago, Culture Festival is my favorite arc for this exact reason, because it's not that you're just fighting villains. You are learning to save people. And I love this about Horikoshi. Again, he writes his character so well. We see this with Endeavor, with Bakugo, and now we're about to see it with Deku in all the crap that he's going through right now. You know, again, we don't know what happened with him in that Vestige War. What did he hear? What did he see? What did they do to him in that time he spent in there? It's just like, I love this. And I can't wait to see what we're getting at. I think it was like last week or something, you guys were talking about maybe seeing like some of those hints as he's fighting Muscular. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to if we see some of that, and hopefully we get a coloring of that scarf and what color that scarf is actually. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's that nice little yellow color that a certain older hero has that he just kind of yanked away.
One idea I have.
I'm on the East Coast and I haven't had lunch and I'm starving, but this has been a lot of fun.
Okay, so we are really happy to have you here. Really, next time if you want to come, just jump in and let's talk. That was really fun. Thank you for the discussion.
Thank you for having me. Bye, you guys. Have fun.
Have a good one.
Have a good day.
One
idea I had for why he's able to seemingly carry Yoshindo with his arms. Mm-hmm. So we know that he has torn ligaments, right? Mm-hmm. What if during like the spaces in those torn ligaments, he used Black Whip to essentially bind them together in combat, and when he's out of combat, or not having to grab something, he lets it go and he just kind of limps.
It would be not crazy. That boy can find answers for anything just to save people. You know what I mean? So I won't be shocked if something like this happens.
Hey, we got a super chat.
Okay.
I want to go on this one because it's so fucking funny. Mm-hmm. It's like a Sixer. I think hopefully I pronounced that right. Imagine Buster gets put back in jail and starts telling other prisoners that they shouldn't even try to escape because the bunny man is out there. Now, you know what's so fucking hilarious about this? What's hilarious about this is that I keep seeing fucking like comedy fan art. If you know the god tier baddie prisoner that escaped, you know, my queen. Yeah. And then she's like with Muscular Overhaul.
With Ness? Ness do those. I love him.
Yeah, great. Yeah, they keep like having like little memes like, this is the guy you're scared of. He's like, don't do it. He's really scared. And they keep pointing at Deku. So the fact
he's a mass murderer.
Yeah, he's a mass murderer. He's got bodies. So the fact you said that is funny. Imagine like big ass tough Muscular. You guys should go out there. The bunny man's out there.
I was talking about this literally that he will become like an urban legend, like about do you know that bunny guy? The bunny guy, a bunny He kicks people ass in seconds and he go away. We don't know what's happening.
They're like, bro, Miracle been out the paint. What are you talking about? No,
Wait,
no, it's a man.
It's a
Bunny man.
He's green.
Yeah,
He's green.
It's almost like what Aniki was saying with Silver's like about impelling down. It's like, you know, some of those niggas and some of the floors is like, yeah, we can leave, but we're not staying here because we can't leave. It's because we don't want to leave because of what the fuck is out there.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, it's like, like the door's open. What are you doing? You don't know, man. The bunny's out there.
Muscular's just sitting in the corner of his cell, just kind of rocking back and forth. The bunny man, the bunny man, the bunny man. Oh no!
The other prisoners throwing like carrots in the cell.
Yep.
You know,
no, you'll attract him. You'll get him.
They can take out his. They can take out his other eye. I can't see it.
Imagine that they could get some voice changer and start to talk like Batman, like, you know what time.
Okay, so wait. There's something we got to address real quick.
Yeah.
So I remember I was talking to my buddy Jared at work, and we were talking about how Deku's English dub voice is what you would call painfully accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Where yes, that dorky dweeby voice does actually fit Deku, but damn, is it kind of like, you could have made him sound cooler still. But I'm imagining wholesome Justin Reiner voice Deku now.
Oh boy!
Don't you mean Chad voice? Because really during joint training, I really seen Deku was like, oh, he kind of like raw now. He was like, everybody's like, oh no, we're gonna lose with our quirks. Everybody name their quirks like, oh, we finna fucking get folded. He's like, nah, we got this. We gonna win. I'm like, oh,
that's
Chad,
that's what I'm a little worried about, Aniki. I know Daiki can pull off the switch. Justin, he's got something. He's very specific to like pre-chapter.
He's got really good slice of life Deku down, like
yeah.
But his slice of life Deku voice doesn't translate into an action Deku voice as well.
Yeah,
and there, like, honestly, there's a hard. I feel like it'd be hard to make a believable transition voice too from that, which is what makes it even worse. Because it's so perfectly nails that like. Okay, first, real quick though, 1, 2, 3 and I 1, 4 says all must fear the bunny man. So we got some hippity hop icons along the way,
guys.
And then
I just remember this.
Wait. Sixer says, muscular. I fear no man, but that bunny.
Yes, I wanted to add, you know, the manga that did Horikoshi before My Hero Academia was about the main character being a bunny, like a bunny. So I just thinking about this right now. He keep tweaking things from story that he did before. I can't wait to see that he takes stuff for Barrage too. Literally, I can't wait to see that he takes stuff for Barrage.
I hope he take the main villain's fucking power and transfers to a quirk, because that shit was OD raw.
What, the darkness energy?
That shit was fucking like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, bro, this shit kind of built different, huh? Like, this shit kind of raw, my nigga. Like,
out of curiosity, has everybody here read Barrage or no?
No, nope. I think I didn't finish it. I read the first chapter.
I just ordered 2 volumes of Barrage the other day, along with a bunch of other manga. So that should.
So what you're saying is Barrage Street?
Yeah, Barrage Street. I think so. It's so funny because the main side character, or what, main secondary character, he's literally like, he looks like if Aizawa and Bakugo fused, but he's definitely like Aizawa.
Yeah.
He's almost like a complete of Aizawa and Bakugo fused, and we get the time skip, and like Bakugo's like way much more agitated, but like with Aizawa's kind of like strictness. It's like if those 2 characters fused, that would literally be, you know, like the culmination of them. So it's like he literally took them 2 apart and just made 2 different characters. I promise you can see like the similarities.
Okay, I really need that. I know that we can buy those stuff. I'm gonna buy them. In English on Amazon. Really, because I want to have this. I need to read this to understand My Hero Academia more, because the Horikoshi, that man, the way that he worked on his details, I'm sure that he put some stuff there that we might maybe even characters of little plot points that we will see in My Hero Academia right now. But just thinking,
you will definitely.
Yeah.
So, well, out of curiosity, how do you how do you see this going now? Because we had a conversation last week about, because I know you probably saw on Tuesday, I mentioned how Deku's villains go from a rogues gallery once he gets those rematches.
Yeah.
So how do you because we're starting with muscular, do you think we're getting a specific story beat order coming forward? Or do you think it's just kind of, we're gonna see things that as they just happen to run into them? Or is it, because the theory that somebody gave me was lack of relatability to most relatability is how he's gonna run into them going forward.
Hard to say because, like I
said
it's
Volk.
Oh, you said Volk. Oh,
yes, he said me, East. I was already people were considering that, and I was thinking about it. It's very likely that he's going to go through. Horikoshi likes calling back to previous arcs. I'm gonna tell you, Paranormal Liberation War is essentially USJ on the biggest scale imaginable. It's literally the USJ arc on the biggest scale imaginable, except in reverse. Instead of the villains launching a covert operation to kill the main hero good guy figure at the time, All Might, it's the heroes rushing in to do an operation to kill the main evil bad guy figure, Shigaraki. So I do expect us to go through sort of remixes of previous arcs. Obviously it's not going to be just the same thing all over again, but you're going to encounter different villains. Overhaul still has a character arc. There's the whole thing with his boss that isn't resolved yet. That needs resolution. Deku's probably teaming up with Gentle is my prediction. I think he's going to team up with him, and they're going to be paired together for an arc. And then at the end of the road, you're going to have All for One and Shigaraki as the end game. So, yeah, I do ascribe to that theory. I think it's going to be. I think the remainder of the series is a boss rush of sorts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, because I thought you guys might have got this while I was went to the bathroom, but I was wrong. Stan Barrow had asked, "Do you think Danger Sense has a certain range, maybe a mile around Deku or so?" And I definitely do think there has to be a cap on the range.
Yeah.
But I don't think that cap is going to be too relevant until later in the series, when he's already going to have to have given up this whole solo mission thing. That I think. So I think it'll be a year from now before we really get to be at a point where that's not just sitting on them. And I don't know if you guys hit up the one about the muscular getting put back in jail thing or not, but I thought you guys did when I came in. So.
JJ, fuck you.
that was explicit. Yes, I would like to know, Volk and Woldy Shapian. So, what do you think about the second, the third, and the third user one for weren't heroes, quote unquote? What do you think about it?
Oh yeah. I've been feeling that too. I think they're not. I think they come from a different era than the others. They're early age, where chaos was at its peak before more of these systems were in place. And so and they're not the first user who's just the ultimate embodiment of good and selflessness and always wants to help out the little guy. No. I think these two guys were a little unscrupulous, or less idealistic than their peers. They might not even agree with sparing Shigaraki. They're probably going to say, no, kill that motherfucker no matter what. Don't even try. So, I mean, of course we know nothing, but we'll have to see. I don't think they're quite as on Deku's ideology as the others. I'm sold on him.
Yeah, they just come from a different time, so they're just the redheaded stepchildren of the Vestiges. In that aspect, at least.
Okay, if Dixar asked the question, if they were bad guys, why would they the third user give the quirk to the third user give a quirk to the hero? That's the thing about it. I don't know what happened, but I just have a theory right now, just to think about it. If the first one never left his prison, the first person that he could give his quirk was somebody that was around him, maybe a watchman, something like this. That maybe they build a relationship. You don't know what, like become friends or so. Because from what you know, the first one was a stubborn guy. You didn't see eye to eye with his brother, and even eating, he didn't want to eat. He didn't want to eat the food that his brother gave to him, you know? So yeah, it is something that I don't know what happened between them, between the first and the second one, but if the brother left the prison, it is something different. If he left the prison, because I really don't think that he left it. Because back then, he didn't have the strength. Like I told you, the strength to go away. Because but back then, One for All was a quirk that had no power at all. If I understand well, it is the fact that he had to build it to get it more powerful. Maybe it was like training, but I don't think I think that around the fourth user that One for All became really a super strength type of quirk, a super like powerful enough to be considered as a superpower. Because before, I don't think that it just made people like maybe peak condition to peak human condition. Like the second and third user, I think that the One for All gave them more like they were like
Captain America strong.
No, Captain America is like he's super powered.
Well, he's weaker than he's not punching through like boulders like the fourth user was.
Really? I knew it. Yeah, but
not normally.
No. So I would even think that they were like more like Natasha run of the way that she moves fast, like they were like the best if you just the best UFC fighter. I really think that they had the strength of this kind of people. You know what I mean? The second user and the third user maybe a little bit stronger, maybe like Captain America, but they didn't have the strength, the strength of the fourth one.
What's the new heavyweight champ?
Okay, we got an Iggy X.
Yep, I'm here. Hey, Aniki and Church, who are some other villains Deku might run into? Personally, I want him to run into Toga or Stain. So
that's coming.
Yeah, like he has to run into Stain.
I think it's going to go off level of relatability, because originally the idea was that like they were going to meet like in chronological order, but it seems to be that it's going to be based on how much he's actually able to convince them, or how much there's a connection or a relation. So, for example, with Muscular, he's that comedic, like, I kill just to kill. Like, that's just funny. Like, I murdered someone because they told me not to murder. That's the type of character Muscular is. And then we'll probably go to Stain, the guy who's like, false heroes need to die. And then we get to Gentle, who is actually a pretty cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can't disagree, really. Somebody asked though, like what we put in for like a pseudo Sinister Six. And no, Toga is not dead. Toga is in the wind.
Toga's still out there somewhere. I would not be surprised if in like 5 chapters Deku randomly runs into her. It's either her, Stain, Gentle, maybe.
He's got to run in an overhaul at some point.
For sure.
Because I think that's a conversation that will set him up to be able to talk to Stain, because Overhaul will be, while Overhaul is the villain that he really can't relate to that well, Overhaul will be in a position of severe helplessness, where Overhaul is not likely to actually be trying to fight Deku when they run into each other.
He doesn't have the power to.
He's, you know what? You know how he's like modeled after a bird of prey, like a vulture or something. What do vultures do? They pick up the scraps So he's probably going to just be on the sidelines, just trying to stay away from all this crazy shit that's happening, and like just build up whatever organization he can piece by piece, as like just like his pathetic stick in the ground that he's still guarding, because like that's his dream.
The thing, when you think about it, literally, Japan right now is the perfect place to make money, literally, for villains. That's really the thing.
Well, like I mentioned, like Overhaul is objectively an extremely high tier biochemist.
Yep.
Or genetic engineer. His skills are phenomenal, but the issue here is that with no hands, he's going to need a backer, somebody who's willing to get him support course materials, like all kinds of stuff like that. So in a lot of ways, if you look at the Rhino as, or like Muscular as like the Rhino or whatever, then Doc Ock is Overhaul, which we've already seen with him having the Ashura form with his multiple arms, stuff like that.
So, what is the? I would like to know, because maybe I don't know. Normally, the Senator 6. What is the original? What are the original
it
6?
would be Izuku's lizard.
What?
No, Spider-Man villain, the lizard.
I think it just. I think a reference doesn't have to be exactly one for one. Like every single matchup is a similar. I think it's just you could take some of his favorites and then like okay.
Because Muscular reminded me more of like Eddie Brock in the 20 to 2006 Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I mean, there's potential for that rogues gallery to actually shape out. The question then becomes though, do we actually get a Deku on 6 matchup like we would back for Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
And what does that do for his character, like him actually facing his enemies, pulling together against him?
For the moment, he just has, I will say, 2 enemies. I will say, 2 enemies that we know that he will have to face, like maybe even Overhaul, like to have like a conversation to it. Because Stain is more like Stain is one of the biggest fan of Deku, and if I remember well, we get the super chat. I will let you.
Okay, let me hit that. Sixer, how do you guys think the final saga will be structured in terms of storylines? Will we keep alternating characters' perspectives? I think we have to see multiple character perspectives. I don't think the story can exist without us seeing how different people react towards Deku's absence. And like I've mentioned, the fact that we haven't seen Bakugo or Shoto's reaction to it, and we've only got like a hint of what Uraraka thinks, and we haven't seen anything out of like Aizawa or what All Might has thought. There's a lot of characters who are going to feel some kind of way about Deku leaving, and all that on the table alone creates a story beat that's going to last like a good number of chapters.
Yeah, so
and that's factoring in this other stuff too. Go ahead, Volk.
Yeah, I've got to head out in a little bit, but let me just say to comment on the structure thing. What the story has not done in a while is center itself around Deku. It's been more so like everybody overall, but while you're going to keep getting different characters' perspectives because that's just how MHA is, you are going to see Deku become the center of attention. Like he has to be, because this is time. This is when he starts becoming the greatest hero, and his like you're gonna see him beating Muscular. Like Shindo's gonna report that, and then everybody's probably gonna react as like, "Whoa, he's already out there doing shit, and we're here like just sitting in our dormitories doing nothing. Like what the hell?" So where that goes, really intrigued. Thank you guys for having me on. However, briefly, I'm just gonna head out. It's always fun talking chapters with you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, man. Well, I had a question for you, but for you guys, but I just don't remember it right now. Yeah, he said that the fact that we get the focus on Deku right now. So, how many chapters do you think that we have like focus on him right now? And yeah, for people to say, because Dixar said like that Deku will low diff muscular. Guys, don't underestimate muscular. Please, we talk about this in the beginning of the stream that muscular is freaking dangerous. Really, really dangerous. The power level that he has, Deku right now, even with 50%, he can't pass through his muscles.
Yeah.
You know, that's how strong LA, because he tanked 100% one for all. Just think about that and realize that right now he knows he already fight Deku. So that fight is not a low diff of a mid diff. Is gonna from I see it like if Deku wins, that is gonna be a high diff. What do you think, Watkins?
What, against muscular?
Yes.
I could see it being mid to high.
Mid to high.
Yeah. I mean, because when he fought him first, that was kind of extreme diff when you think back to it. And
Yeah.
Deku's just gotten so much better since then. And with all the multiple quirks, I mean, he can subdue muscular a little better this time. Yeah, and there is another super chat up. I don't know if you saw that. From Samuel.
Samuel Barrow asks,
Yeah.
do you think Deku's mom knows the truth of One for All now? Watkins, since you were going, let's hear what you think on that one.
Probably. I mean, he might have. I don't know. Does Deku know that the parents were heading to the dorms, or was that something that happened after he left? Because if he sent her a letter, that means he sent it to her place. So she might not have read like her letter, but she probably saw or heard from somebody else about it and seen somebody else's letter.
That's actually a good question, because we have no way of knowing if they actually like sat down and talked about what Deku was about to do, or if he was like, "Yeah, no, I gotta go, mom, bye," and she was like, "Huh?" And he's
I was about to move in with you, son. No,
like we don't know what led up to that.
That was weak Deku. DJ Kalem, you said what you're talking about. You're talking about muscular versus.
No. Because they asked about whether or not Inko would even know.
I don't know.
The One for All, but like.
I'm sorry, but I was reading the chat because they're like talking, and JJ said something like he said that the fight between Muscular and Deku that was weak Deku, so Muscular is getting mid diffed or lower diffed.
No, look. So Deku's mom. Look. The thing was like, I don't think Muscular is going to be a high diff matchup. I'm going to be honest with you on that one. Like, that's not going to be high diff.
Mm-hmm.
Just based off the fact that the main issue that Deku had back then is that he couldn't go more than like 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to hit Muscular faster than he can react. So that's already a good sign that like he's at least capable of landing like high speed blows on him. And like I said, like if you look, there's the smoky cyclone, and then he's standing there holding Shindo.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's just like a poofy cloud. There's no Deku in there. You don't actually see his physical body, which is unusual. That's not usually how these kinds of scenes are drawn. So it's like, even if you hit him with a 45% smash, there would be a Deku there, like typically. So what's up with that? I don't think that Muscular is actually in a position to really do much to Deku. I don't think it necessarily means he's not going to take, like he's going to go down in one shot, obviously, but I don't think he's actually going to be able to hurt Deku.
Yeah, he's going to get an ass whooping. Good old fashioned woodshed ass whooping.
Like it's just going to be Deku having to like hit him enough times to get him to sit his ass down.
Yeah.
We might get to see him like stomp people out fine in the Iron Tims. Oh, Mito says, I have a question from you all. Who do you all think will be the villain who kills All Might in an unspeakable way? My money is on either Stain or Dabi.
Huh? Stain?
Ooh.
Wow.
I wouldn't necessarily go with Stain, but Dobby being the one, because like that would kind of explain it if Dobby was just the villain that was never on Night Eye's radar. Because after the reveal at Camino, I feel like if Night Eye had foreseen Shigaraki killing All Might, he would have been like, Shigaraki's gonna kill All Might. Like he would have been like, it's you from my vision all those years ago. I don't think he'd forget who gave All Might that unspeakable death if he could see it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it turned out to be Dobby and it was like him slowly roasting All Might's body alive with the heat of a star, or Toga carving him into 1,000 pieces, that would make sense for it to be like this super terrible, horrifying death that he was afraid of. I don't think Stain's doing it though.
No. He's a fan of All Might. That's the thing about. That's why that he went out against the society. So if it is Dobby, yes, dying like with these flames, that's a horrible death. So
watch it be Spinner.
Watch Spinner just chat.
If it is Spinner, man, I'm gonna be happy. It means that he's like. He's literally the right hand man of our man Shigaraki. If he does this, literally,
he's just like, I'm gonna make you happy, Shigaraki. See, look what I did, and just brings All Might's head to him. Look, I did it for you. See, don't you like me now? Are you back to normal now? Here it is.
Oh man, okay. I really hope that Spinner will help.
I will tell Shigaraki. You who the mole in UA is probably Wednesday if it all goes according to schedule.
Oh, okay, cool to know that.
The literal mole, or
if All Might's fate is sealed, we won't get the time scheme until he dies. It changes his face at least. Okay. So for people that don't understand the word high diff, mid diff, and low diff. So if you get beaten in an easy,
it got explained.
I can explain. Okay, that's good. Okay, I thought to myself,
Dabby explained in the chat. Don't worry.
I also said that they didn't mess enough with the heroes. Man, Dabby's. I don't know. The fact that Dabby is just roaming there in these cities of destruction. Man, I'm really. I don't know what's gonna happen to the Rocky family or to some schools, because I'm sure of it. He can't go to a school, just burn it down, just to show for Endeavor to see, I'm your kid, I'm doing stuff like this, just to get noticed by his daddy. You know what I mean? But notice.
See, Dobby always has like smart attacks.
Yes.
So he wouldn't just blow up or burn down a random building. What he would do is he would look at the situation and be like, all right, you know what? If I drop a Hell's Curtain just right here on UA, what do? Nothing. It's not Blood King Vlad.
Let that man be.
Let that man be. Traitor isn't Vlad.
Is that Roger in there?
It's not Vlad. Don't worry about that.
Because he's Russian. That's why.
Yeah, racist.
Racist.
I can't believe y'all would do this in my chat and push such racist agendas.
What kind of shit is that, man? Damn.
We're supposed to be better than this, guys.
Man, really?
Supposed
to be top one in the verse. This ain't top one in the verse behavior. What y'all doing?
That's like, because he has a quirk about blood, that he must be a villain. Guys, please. What time is it? What time is it, guys? Really?
Problematic.
What the hell? JJ, stop with that cap. Literally, man. Literally, stop with that cap. Stop with that cap, man. That your agenda to make false accusations. Stop with that. We know that My Hero Academia world is a world fuller of what is a good word for it? Like, people have like the ideas from certain time of people. Because if you look like a mutant, you're seen as maybe as a villain. Literally, that's really painful to see to read that. Just imagine, because you look like you have like some like Spinner, he said like where he lived, people were living like in the other centuries, other centuries. So he was like getting picked on, bullied. Damn, hard lives. So you have the different. You get also the difference between the city and people that lived in the boonies. Damn.
Look. Because I'm just glad the chat is all like, no, the traitor isn't this, the traitor isn't that. No, Toga is not Vlad's love child.
Oh no! Oh damn!
The traitor isn't going to be Uraraka. Relax, guys. I got a solution for you.
If it is Uraraka,
I promise I got a solution for you guys. I'm gonna get to work on it.
Okay, it's gonna be.
The traitor was the friends we made along the way.
Wow,
that was beautiful. It was always your friends.
I don't know how I feel about that, Watkins.
Best word, red sun. You know. Oh man! I can't wait. I can't wait to see. Like, I don't know if somebody had a quirk that he can just like take control of people. Lol. You know what I mean? Red sun. Everybody's like. Shinzo. Oh man! Yeah, I'm telling you, from the beginning, that man was a
Mineta isn't the traitor.
Oh, if it is Mineta, I'm gonna laugh.
And it's not Kaminari either.
People really like that theory. Really, that to see him like in a smart ass way and seeing that he's a villain. They want that. I can understand why, because it will be design wise, it's gonna be cool. But nah, it's not him. The way that he loves, I forgot her name, Jiro, and let that man be. I like Deku being an accidental traitor.
That would be a Harry Potter reference, which would be kind of funny, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Do you guys think that Deku keeps his powers?
I think that he will, because giving the quirk to somebody else, even if he found someone, the quirk would be too powerful to give to somebody else. I really
look here, Tarnish. If you wanted a happy birthday shout out, you should have thought about that before you drove Caleb Cook off of Twitter.
There it is.
Just get exposed, my bro.
Let's go.
Everybody hate Tarnish. Cancel Tarnish. That man
that shit. That's tragic.
Cancel Tarnish in the chat.
Listen,
Hashtag
everyone. I want all of y'all to type in cancel Tarnish in chat. Everyone.
Don't do that, because Tarnish is one of the allies of the East faction. And that's my power. I would not allow that to happen.
No, he's a Sayas fan. He told you.
Facts.
He's an ally of the East faction. You see.
Listen,
I don't know what Sayas lies, but Tarnish is an ally. He does not ever.
Darnish.
Unlike some of y'all who see is we've confirmed the final act and niggas started. Oh my God, how does he go close to every plot? I can't see. I don't know how he's gonna do it. Oh my God, it's the final act. Oh, let's freak out. I think Horikoshi lost out his entire fucking capacity to write. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? God damn. Because you can't see more than 100 chapters. That's how you gonna end it. Did he say that or did you project that? God,
Dixon, you're French. Annulé Tarnish. Canceling in French is hilarious. Literally. Oh man.
Oh, so Tarnish is the UA trader. Gotcha.
Damn, Tarnish party is over. Oh yeah, it's literally.
See, look. See, for Tarnish's birthday, he got to be the star of the stream for like a solid minute.
Yeah, man. Facts, man. Happy birthday, Tarnish.
In 2 days.
Even with your flaws, we love you, bro. You know that.
Even with all your Caleb Cook canceling flaws, even with all your getting the official translator out of Twitter flaws, we say happy birthday.
Yes, it's Mito's birthday too. Happy birthday! We shout out everybody's birthday.
We all tuned
everybody's
birthday. Of ours.
Everybody.
Lunch Rush is the traitor. Oh my God, y'all wild enough.
How is
little microchips inside the food?
Yes.
Secretly, it's been the robots the whole time. That's why they talk so much shit.
How is Lunch Rush cooking that premium caviar. It must be that trader juice in her system.
Imagine him as exposing himself like, since the beginning you were all talking in the cafeteria. I was listening to what you said. Oh man, Netzu. Yeah, what do you keep saying, Netzu?
That's actually how it's spelled sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, depending on what translations and like where you are.
Okay, Nizu is a trader. Yeah, it seems like it, because if he acts under the Red Sun program, if somebody call him and say Red Sun, like the password, he might be giving all the details and information. He's at the right place to give all this information right now. So yeah, this is something that might have happened.
So what I can officially say is that, man, I don't know what bad bitches they got in Jump that's just like sucking some people off, or like some niggas that's just laying this pipe down. But fucking 2020 and 2021, Jump have been going crazy with these new series, man. Listen, Undead, the 4 seasons arc, fucking fire. Bashel, the tournament arc just took a slight turn. Like, man, shit, fucking, man, listen, everything on fire, bro. I'm sorry, everything is on fire right now. Sakamoto Days just keep getting better and better with every chapter. Good fucking lord.
I need to catch up with that.
Hey, yo, me and Roboco, bro. I'm talking about that gas.
That's so funny because I'm so funny because I'm in a GC where they roast that shit, but they gas Phantom Seer, and Phantom Seer got fucking taken out the paint, although its sales are so good. And you don't understand the irony is so fucking.
It's ending soon.
Really?
That shit is so funny to me, bro.
Yeah, and like, what is it? What is it? Next issue or the issue after that?
I think next issue.
Yeah.
Doug, Phantom Seer, Iori had one of the rawest powers.
Yes.
Out of any of the MCs in Jump right now, and that's wasted now.
Yep.
That's wasted.
JSP, if I was talking about how Jump Series all gas right now.
Where this is that bad? Damn, I thought really that the story had success. Oh damn.
I mean, the sales were apparently pretty good, but that motherfucker still got act. So I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, they like, well, our other Exorcist series were selling this much, so you're not a good enough Exorcist series. Get out of here. And I'm like, man, these gag mangas, like, they gave fucking what's it called? The Secure Raid team. Oh shit. With the dude with the onion hair, with the staff, and the girl who had like a whole line of gang of nigga ghosts behind her. She had like thousands of ghosts following her everywhere.
Guys, if he's
it was a gag manga, come on, bro, don't leave me out here like this. Y'all gotta know what I'm talking about.
Is 100K sales good enough in Japan? Yes or no? Because here in Belgium, here Europe is different.
Bro, in Japan, bro, trust me, in Japan, it's fucking amazing. It's fucking good. If it be that early on and you got 100K sales, that's definitely good for a newbie manga.
What the hell happened then? Why do you stop a series like this when you get 100K?
Man, where's that?
Ain't in the Exorcist series?
Yeah,
by slaying demons. I mean, I did read it. I did read it. Like
Mitama. They let Mitama Security get busters.
Hold on,
get more chapters in Phantom Seer.
I have a question for y'all. Bill King and Roboco are still ongoing, right?
Oh, they doing perfectly fine in manga. That's why I said that shit is so fucking funny. How that GP, like, I was in. They just be roasting the fuck out like Roboco, but it was gas and Phantom Seer, but Phantom Seer got the axe. Roboco did. I tell you, that shit just so funny. Cause niggas is like, I've seen some panels and niggas like, yo, catch up to the current art gas. Don't worry about the speculation. It may be canceled. The sales say otherwise. Okay, cool.
Thank you. I love Zip King and Zip Man, and that got destroyed. I'm so sad. I loved it.
Like, Zip Man shot. I want to go off on this because you know what? I was one of the people gassing. I actually took because I got hit.
I was pro Zip Man.
Yeah,
I got hit with that shit. You know
it
what?
Was so much fun.
Zip Man had the makings of everything to set up a good series with a 7 to 8 out of 10 opening and go the sky limit from there. Literally, you had phenomenal ass fucking art. I mean, that last chapter, bro. Good God, the fucking art was going absolutely bananas. the MC was cool, and you could build up the main cast. The side girl was cool, but you build up the main cast, like the nigga he was fighting like the last 2 chapters, like that monkey dude with the giant ass staff. Like you could have made that like to one of the people that become a good guy because he has other motivations, and like the power system was raw. The fights are fucking fun as shit. Like the world, like bro, all you had to, bro, you had it in the bag. Then this nigga start rushing that shit and doing some dumb shit.
I'm gonna talk about Samurai 8 because Samurai 8 frustrates me for 2 reasons. One, there was a good chunk of time where a lot of series would have been axed if they had been doing what Samurai 8 was doing. Facts. So for me, I was a little frustrated knowing series like Hellward and Higuma, Neolation, fucking what we talked about earlier, Zipman, all these things getting axed. Zipman got axed at like 20 chapters. I don't even think it hit 20. I think it got axed at 19.
Yeah, it was some like teen number or whatever.
And like,
you know what was my biggest problem?
But
with
hold on.
Samurai? Okay.
But then when Samurai 8 was finally really going in the direction that I was really able to vibe with, and I was like, okay, you finally have characters on the board now where it's starting to actually add up and it's paying off, and I'm starting to enjoy what the story is setting up. Now you finally want to axe it. Now it's finally getting good. That's when you want to be like, oh yeah, we axed this.
Yep. I love the video game progression they were about to do. I was like, this is awesome. I like this. This is showing some progression. And then, like you were saying, side characters were actually coming in, adding some more. I'm like, great, awesome. No, ending in 2 chapters. Nah, fuck you.
Yeah, Poison Tree, honestly, if Zipman kept it going, that artwork could have rivaled Horikoshi. I'm not even gonna cap, son. Like, that shit could have definitely rivaled Horikoshi, like, as the best in Jump. Like, that shit was fucking crazy. Like, really, don't even read, just read the last chapter. This shit raw.
With Samurai 8, you know what was my biggest problem? It's a fatal flaw. This is like some Achilles tendon type beat, okay? There's no 8 samurai.
Yeah, you gotta go. You can take your. You gotta go. Get your shit. Get your shit and bounce. Get your shit together and bounce, bro.
Oh my god.
Okay. Let's talk about time paradox. Let's talk about time paradox. Okay. So this is what. Okay. Actually, this is a perfect time to talk about this because people say, "Oh, well, what if My Hero's in the last arc? If My Hero's in the last arc, the Church of MHA just becomes Shonen Jump Sunday." I don't think anybody has a problem with that. Anybody got a problem with that?
No.
No, exactly. So there's your answer for that. But also, the amount of shit that gets canceled in Jump, like with Samurai 8, with like Neolation, I thought that was actually like a real interesting premise, and they just didn't let it get explored at all. Like those are like technology on technology battles, like hacker fights. Like, let us get some into like Time Paradox. Literally, there was like, it's about plagiarism. It's bad. You don't even know what the point is going to be. His goal is to not do that anymore. Like, and he feels bad about it. He wants to strive, and he's striving to improve. What are you talking about?
Okay, I understand what you mean. I didn't read this. I read the first chapter, but I didn't finish it. But yeah, the premise was good because it was something. When you have like the main character doing something like this, not righteous, and they struggle with it. That was something. Like, it is a perspective. It is a perspective that it is interesting to see because we see something else from the other side. We just always get from the same side being good. I'm reading right now the book of Araki. I made JoJo's Adventure. His book about manga theory in practice. He said something that I was not really okay with. Is that the main character must always be righteous, being good, like stuff like this, just because so people can resonate with him. You know what I mean? But here in the West right now, I will say, we are fed up. We are like we want to see sometimes something else. And in Japan they really try to. I think it is a Japanese mentality that the the protagonist can be a villainous one. You can, and that is something that I really don't understand why that it is. I think it is hypocrite even sometimes. If you keep doing stuff like this, because the bad people have also a story. You know what I mean? They have also a story. They can be bad because they are bad, but they still have a story, and it is interesting to see that too. I think so, but yeah, I don't know what you guys think about this, but
Well, I'm about to go ahead head out. Oh,
oh,
my fucking back hurt.
that's your answer on my question. Damn, man, that's painful.
Damn.
But yeah,
Oh wait,
Raphael Correa answered on Squid like yes, because the 8 friends were literally 8 samurais were literally the friends that we made along the way.
yeah. Well, I would have liked 8 samurais instead of friends. How about that?
Oh man,
Crazy.
oh
All right, all
man.
right.
Let
Katanas
me go
over
ahead and get my
emotional
final
Hold on, hold on,
attachment,
hold on,
gang.
hold
I
on,
need,
hold on.
I need
Squid,
them to take that.
Squid. Real quick, East. Let's get your final thoughts out. We can just start. We're gonna start the wrap up. We're gonna start the wrap up actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Usually,
my back's messed up lately anyway with all this weather stuff. I'm being honest, I'm an old man.
yeah. So
So
you all man. All right.
East,
So
go.
we had to purge this and cleanse this, so they'll not. I touch my bishops not to dilute what I'm about to say afterwards. Man, you already know what the fuck it is. I'm gonna do every fucking week. This was a 10 out of 10, of course. I don't know what you talking about wavering at Rogers base. Yeah, you could clip that shit and send it to him. E said that shit at Rogers base. Ain't no wavering. It's crumbling, which is falling down piece by piece or all together. It hasn't fully hit it yet. But damn, I'll be damned if you ever fucking say no consequence to me because you in the fucking mud, boy. Let's go. So happy Shindo. Shindo is a real hero. Y'all gonna start capping on that nigga. Muscular, a badass nigga. The fight with Deco and them finna be at least a mid diff for Endai, who's not a meathead and doesn't know all the jargon slang. It'll go both ways back and forth. I agree with Anki how he won't be able to hit him, but those it's gonna take a lot of technicality for fucking Deku to actually get on top of Muscular. It's not gonna be no damn wash. Let's get that straight too. And man, listen, Horikoshi, thank you for everything, man. Once again, my NC about to stun up on these niggas with the big black ass Air Force Ones and stomp these bitch ass niggas out in the street. Because I know that's not who I think it is, boy. I know that's not Big Brother stepping in. They had the roles reversed. First Shindo the Big Brother, now it's Deku. That's crazy. All right, Deku come. Hey man, listen. Horikoshi the GOAT, undefeated of the East. You know what it do, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I think East straight up left. He vanished. Nope, he's still here.
Yeah, he's still here.
All right, Squid. Final thoughts.
Well, to quote Method Man, okay. Number one, hold on. I gotta get to that first. Number one, I stay winning. I keep eating. Okay, cash rules everything around me, so I get the money. Dollar bill, yo. That's me. I keep winning. I eat 50-0. Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano. Can't stop.
Bro, you wild. Fonzie.
You know what it is? They had a great chapter. Literally 10 on 10 for me. Deku is back. The Bunny Man is gonna terrorize you. So yeah, perfect weapons. So yeah,
Rocco, where is she?
Where is she?
Where is she?
where is she?
Tell me where the others are.
Where's Kachan?
You're gonna have to give me the answers to my questions.
Halo Smash.
Gotham Smash on the table.
Horikoshi.
But if a truck
Horikoshi, give this.
There's not enough Halories in the chat.
Halories. You know what to do. You know what we expect. We know what we want. Horikoshi delivers every week for the moments. We get
stay
W's.
eating like we hungry. That's what we do.
Man, W's after W's. We can next week we're gonna have another W.
Got that premium caviar with the champagne in it, with a cherry.
You're here, Bishop Squid. Thank you for having us, all of us. Thank you. And yeah.
And then Watkins.
Yo, great chapter. 9 out of 10, I'd say, just because I don't believe in 10 out of 10 perfection, because nothing's perfect. I love Shindo getting just thrown around. Horiko's just saying, "Oh, you like this boy because he's pretty? He's not gonna be pretty anymore." I like his girlfriend's. I always forget her name, but I'll always remember her hero name being Turtleneck. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, all you guys saying, "Oh, Deku's a horrible main character," blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up about that. because now you're getting development. Now you're getting that focus. Guess what? It's always been there. The focus and development has always been there. You're just now getting more of it. So sit down, shut the fuck up, keep yelling like Asta, and just shut up.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I hate it.
Hey, let your Wizard King get resurrected one more time, I swear.
Hey, and I slander her today.
I know.
This is a peaceful day with peaceful people.
Yes, we get zero likes. So
finally getting their first movie.
Yep. Getting the first movie, which I'm glad for. I'm sure it'll be good. It should be enjoyable at least.
Yes.
Knocked went in this week, even though I would prefer a different ending to this chapter. Whatever. You know, whatever. I wanted my boy Knock to go a little bit harder. Couldn't give it to him. It's whatever. It is what it is. The rest of you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next.